Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match podcast. I'm your host, Manny Friedman, along with my co-host,
Brad Sloan.
All right, back in the house. I know it's been a while. Life sometimes gets in the way of these things, even during Grand Slams and stuff. There are still some more important things in life than tennis, right? Even though sometimes it's hard to you know believe that,
Yeah,
but
honestly, one of the cool things about the past week, about the past day for me, I did terrible today. I think I went like 0-5-3 on my bets. I pushed 3 bets somehow, which was insane.
oof.
But Montero, Cerundolo, Munar over, and then something else. But one of the things that was cool is like the Heat won last night, and I didn't have any bets on that, and I was still happy.
Yeah.
And like I was really happy that Wheel beat Medvedev today. It was just cool to see that upset. So like I don't know, I like it hasn't like betting hasn't ruined my appetite for other life.
That's good. That's good. I mean, I was, after losing the bias -6 today against Monfils, like I was super happy Monfils got through that. And like the moment he had on court today, like lying on the clay crying and just, but it's not only the like that he won, it's how he won. Just kind of
Yeah.
suffering through the pain. He was obviously like physically hurt and cramping and like just coming through that and just like using the crowd to his advantage. Like that was just so cool to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't win any money. Actually lost money on that match, but like, it was worth it. It was worth the watch for sure. So no, I totally agree with you. That's why we love the sport, right? We're not just bettors. We also love the sport.
Yeah.
That's why we
Yeah.
do this. So
Agreed.
so let's get into it a little bit. So last time we joined you guys for an actual pod was like midway through Geneva and Lyon, I believe. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a while ago.
It's been a while. So what were some of your main takeaways from last week in those two 250s, which I thought were quite entertaining, to be honest. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought the guys, for the most part, and like, we talk about this. We talk a lot about motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to clarify that, like, the reason you talk so much about from a betting perspective is like you're betting on fine margins, right? Like, if you think, like, if you see a line at like plus 110 and you think there's like a 50% chance the guy wins the match, that's like a huge value you have to bet on.
Yeah.
Right. But that's only like a 5. You're only getting like a couple percent extra, right? So like the point being, like, if you think there's a 5% chance the guy's gonna be unmotivated, that's almost something you have to bet on and take advantage of. So like it's not that like all these guys we say might not be motivated are gonna come out and be unmotivated. But like if one or two come out unmotivated for a match here or there, that makes a big difference.
Mm.
And so I think so that was probably honestly like my biggest just overall takeaway. Obviously, Manny, it was cool that your 50-1 futures on fees cashed.
That was amazing.
That said, he did only win 3 matches. It was a little bit like it was a little bit like Demonor's run in Acapulco, where like he just got like yes, he won the tournament, and yes, anytime you win a tournament, it's a huge accomplishment. But like he also got like a really good like set of conditions.
He did. It's not necessarily like obviously cashing it is amazing, and I'm not bragging about it because like there were also other people on Twitter like Tidbits and the Bet Rivers guys were on that too. It's just like looking at how low he was on the board and considering that he was probably considering that you don't have to worry about the motivation angle with him. He was probably top 4 or top 5 in terms of favorites to win that event, where he was very low on the board.
I would agree.
The markets didn't really catch on. So like even if he was 25-1, I probably still would have hit it just because of how low he was on that list when realistically, I mean, based on his game, which he has a lot of talent. Like I posted on the Twitter, you think he's going to be top 10 at some point in 2024. I think that there's a realistic chance of that happening.
I can't believe that. I think the majority of people said yes, and that's
Yes.
amazing to me. Like that to me is ridiculous.
Really?
Like,
So you're on the no on that?
yeah, I mean, yeah, like straight up, yeah. That doesn't mean he can't do it. Doesn't mean he doesn't have talent. It just means like it's really freaking hard to be top 10. Like if you look at the top 10 right now,
I'm not saying end of year top 10. I'm saying to be top 10 at some point. So be kind of like knocking on the door and achieving it, like maybe.
Okay, but still, like top 15 in the world right now. Alcaraz, Medvedev, Djokovic, Ruud, Tsitsipas, Rune, Rublev, Fritz, Sinner, FAA, Kachanov, Tiafoe, Nori, Hurkacz, Nadal. That's your list. Like most of those guys are pretty good.
It's a good list, but I think Fils has. I'm not saying he's going to reach that potential, but I think he has more talent, like pound for pound tennis talent, than some of those guys you mentioned. I think Fritz is one of them. I think Rublev is one of them. I just think he's more athletic, and I think he has like. I don't see too many technical flaws per se. I think there's issues with discipline, and I think probably he'll have to get a little stronger. But he seems like he has a man body for an 18-year-old. I just think he has a lot of upside. Like I like a lot of what I've seen, and I like the trajectory he's taking, like how much he's improved the last couple months, especially on a surface which he hasn't played on that much. Like you would think fast hard courts would actually suit his game better, but to win your first ATP title on clay, like that's impressive to me.
Yeah, although like we're looking at like he beat Zhang, Nakashima, and Cerundolo. Like beating Cerundolo is impressive. Beating Zhang on clay, like that's like a borderline ATP tour level win. Like Nakashima hasn't been great either. Like I thought the final against Cerundolo was really impressive, no doubt. But like
what was more impressive to me is not the win against Cerundolo; it's backing up the win, the tough 3-set win against.
Well, that's what I mean. I guess the combination of those two, right? Like,
and the Nakashima win itself was very impressive. The fact that kind of the match was taken away from him when that umpire came out and called the ball long or on the line when he thought it was long, and he actually fell on the ground and celebrated, and he had to come back and play 3 more games. Like that was impressive to me. Like that showed me a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm liking what I'm seeing from him, is what I'm saying. So
yeah, I just think they're saying like top 10 is a bit much. Like if you want to tell me top 30, fine, but like top 10 is really difficult to do. Like
are you
there's a lot of talented guys. What?
Are you willing to do a dinner bet on that?
Yeah, I'll do a dinner bet on that. Yeah.
All right, dinner bet. All right, top 10 at any point next year.
At any point before the end of 2024.
Okay. All right, dinner bet.
Dinner bet. Yeah, you're on.
Nice. All right. Let's do that. So yeah, I mean 50 to 1 is 50 to 1. So that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. You'll never get that again on him. So that's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Other than that from that tournament, like I'm just looking at results. I mean, I don't think there was much else of anything really interesting. Draper made it through a full 3-set match in the quarters. Like he actually, but then he retired in the first round of the French. I was actually like kind of like it's so pathetic that I was impressed that he played 3 full sets and looked like he was able to actually like play tennis for 3 full sets. But then, alas, like
yeah, he had to retire at the French Open, right?
First
match against who did he play? Echeverry.
No, yes, Echeverry, yeah.
Which was kind of a pick 'em match by the books, and like I even think if Draper was healthy, like that's Etch all the way.
Well, just fitness. That's the issue, right? Like that was the problem. Is like, yeah.
In best of 3, that's where the line should be. In best of 5, you have to give Etch the clear edge, and he wasn't. It was like minus 130, so I hammered that. But
I guess from like a tennis perspective, we can talk about the Emer default a little bit. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's I know how you feel about this. I'm kind of torn about whether or not I like the umpires coming out and checking marks on clay. Like, in theory, it should be great. It should be really easy. But, like, for some reason, they're not able to execute it. Like, sometimes they don't want to get out of the chairs. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of argument over, like, which mark is the right mark? Is the mark on the line or not? Like, it's amazing. Like, you would think it'd be really clear cut and cut and dry, but there's a surprising amount of arguments on line calls on clay.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes the umpire is going to the wrong mark. Like, I feel like it's hard to, like, you're in the chair kind of far away, and then sometimes there's like a delay. It's not like you're getting out of the chair right away, especially like Allison Hughes, you know?
Yeah.
But like, it's, sometimes it takes some time, and then you lose trajectory where, you know, like where you are, and then you're just going to pick the wrong mark. And obviously you're not going to ask the player what the mark is. You're going to go to the mark you think is there. But I feel like sometimes the umpires are picking the wrong mark.
Yeah. I'm just amazed at, it's interesting. And then, the other piece of it too is, in a weird way, what matters isn't so much if the technology is right or not, but if people believe it's right. Like perception, right? Or the perception that it's that it's a completely unbiased, fair arbiter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because the Hawkeye will admits that they're not completely precise. There's some margin for error in the Hawkeye. It can be up to a few millimeters off.
I think it's more egregious to me that a tournament like Estoril, which is a 250, has the challenge system and paid the money to install.
But I don't think it's about cheapness. I guess this is where I was going with it. I think in theory, right? In theory, a person coming out and looking at a mark should be better than the technology, which has an admitted error, an admitted error in precision. The technology admits it's not 100% precise.
But the amount of error is less than the human eye. Also, I played on a clay court. It's hard. The line is white, and the ball mark. What if it another ball landed in the same place? You can't really see, and they don't scrub the court down every time.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I guess completely. I'm just saying I don't think it's I guess there's 2 key points I have, right? One, people believe the technology is infallible. It's not, right? That's number
agree
one.
With that. Yeah.
2 is that it's surprising how bad, even on clay, how difficult it is to umpire. At least to me, how you know what I mean? It surprised me how difficult it is to umpire even on clay. So yeah. But either way, obviously, Emer's behavior is inexcusable.
Yes,
but
there's no denying that. But you don't think that there's a problem with a ATP 250 having a challenge system and kind of going
because I don't think
mile.
I don't think
Roland Garros, a Grand Slam, not
because I don't think I think they're doing it because their statement is that the ump checking the mark is better than the technology, which is not not 100% right all the time.
To me, I think they're doing it because they're cheap.
I don't see. That's where I disagree.
Oh,
but yeah, I think legit because when the technology came out, they said remember clay. When the technology came out, no clay clay tournaments had it.
Right.
So I think it was because they legitimately believed hey, on clay we can check a mark, that's the best possible thing. Obviously, not obviously, but we're seeing that it's actually not as easy as it would seem up front to check marks on clay.
It just creates room for argument. When a computer does it, you can't argue with it.
Well, then that was my last point, was the perception point, right? Regardless of whether or not the technology is right, if you have an unbiased technology,
right,
it's and a technology that's now basically accepted by all the players, there's some advantage in that. Whether or not it's right or not, just the fact that the players accept it as being right. The perception that it's right almost has value, and that to your point, it kills off these arguments.
I personally think I strongly disagree with you. I think the French Open, they're just being cheap. I think the Italians were cheap too. For a while, Madrid had it, right? Madrid's a Masters 1000, but Rome or Paris didn't. Why? It just
because I think they legitimately believe that they're
ATP, but they're ATP run tournaments. It should be standard across the board. It just feels like the tournament director was you know what? I'm not.
I don't think any. But there's very little standardized across these tournaments across the board. The only thing Really, I mean, really, when you think about it, there's really scheduling and like the scheduling isn't standardized. The draw sizes aren't standard. Like nothing is standardized about these tournaments.
But that strengthens my point. It's just like, since there's nothing standardized, like the Italians and the French are just being cheap.
I don't. I say. I guess that's where I disagree. Like I don't. I don't. I think there's a legitimate argument to be made that like in theory the umps should be able to check the mark. They should be able to just go check the mark and boom, it's done.
All right, I'm curious what Klaus has to say about this. Leave a comment on the Twitter. I want to see. I'm going with my argument being minus 130 and Brad's argument being plus 110.
All right, we'll see.
Let's see. All right.
I guess I've never seen. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really seen too many like the tournament directors come out and talk too much about the clay tournaments.
What, in terms of challenge this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, once the tournament is over and they have their speech, it's kind of irrelevant. It's like during the tournament where it matters.
Yeah.
But all right. Any other takeaways from Lyon and the guys that did well last week? It's kind of been a mixed bag. I thought initially they did.
Yeah, I think it's a mixed bag. Like, I don't know. Like, Cerundolo got through Munar. I mean, I wasn't surprised that he lost a set to Munar.
Yeah.
Nori was not
Nori
good.
made semis. Dimitrov actually looks quite good. He destroyed Skatov.
Yeah, I guess is Dimitrov now part of the club that gets to have 8.5 spreads?
No, I no.
We'll get to that, and then we'll get to that
a little bit. I mean, he's
Open,
good.
but,
maybe the discrepancy in talent was just so big, but like if someone else has a 8.5 game spread going forward against Dimitrov, that's hard to back for him. I don't know.
Nakashima, I guess like in Lyon, do we take anything away from Nakashima? I don't really. I mean, he beat Paul and Rinderknecht. Like that's not impressive to me.
Paul, I don't think was super motivated. Plus, he's actually really bad on clay. Like
yeah,
he's really struggled on clay. Although Paul had a straight set win against Stricker today, which was decent.
Yeah, but I think Stricker's a really bad matchup for Paul.
You mean Paul's a really good matchup for Stricker?
Whatever way you want to say it, but
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just because like Stricker, like, like he's error prone, right? He's
right.
But yeah, I mean, obviously Yari winning a tournament is cool, right? Anytime I'm always happy anytime Nico Yari wins a tournament.
Yeah. I think he's a good competitor, and he's become like a clay and like an altitude clay specialist.
Yeah.
You want to put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's okay in Paris. Like today he played who did he play again? Oh, Hugo Dellien.
Like, he beat Dellien pretty good, right?
Yeah, he's just a better tennis player than Dellien. But like, in order to beat someone like higher ranked or better than him, like he needs clay and he needs altitude.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have either one, like I wouldn't necessarily back him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but hoping we get good prices in like Kitchbull and wherever those like, Hamburg, I think it might be at altitude.
Yeah, I think Hamburg's at a little altitude.
Yeah. So, but I like the guy. I mean, good serve, good fighter. I mean, he's had a good season. Won 250s. Like, that's respectable for sure.
I'm just looking through scores and results. I don't know, like again, like I was relatively, I guess, I don't want to say impressed, but like in both tournaments, most of the guys came out and competed pretty hard.
The list of guys that didn't compete last week were Zapata, Morales, who didn't win a game.
Yeah, Zapata looked awful. Yibing Wu.
It might be a time to start fading
Zapata. What?
It might be a time to start fading Zapata. Like.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, right? Like he lost to Schwartzman. I just think it's tough. I think if you're really matchup dependent with him because he's so one dimensional. Like if he's against a guy who's going to let him just hit balls from the baseline, he's okay. But as soon as he has to do other things, he's done.
And I think people are starting to realize that. Like that's my point. Like I think, like Medvedev in 19 when he just came up, like everyone's like, what the hell? And then I feel like in 20 and 21 and 22, like people started kind of adjusting to what he was doing, So, I mean, obviously it's a way lower level. We're discussing with Zapata, but I just feel like, I don't know. That's my takeaway with Zapata.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, other than that, I don't think there was too much of anything that was that terrifically interesting in these tournaments.
Yeah.
I thought the qualifiers, honestly, for the qualifiers were more interesting than the 250s.
At the French.
Yeah, I mean, the matches are all so close. These qualifiers, man.
Yeah. Well, what did you take away more from like a betting perspective, like going into like Wimbledon qualifying and US Open qualifying? Like,
I think I'm going to be more likely to take underdogs, just because these matches are so close.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a narrative, but I think there's probably something when all these guys are playing in matches that are of such heightened importance to them as individuals, to their careers, it probably creates more variance in that some guys probably handle it better than others.
Yeah.
I also think and I don't know if it matters anywhere else but the French, but like the French were drawing 10,000 fans. Like I think they drew like 50,000 fans for the opening week. And they said they sell tickets. Like it's not free. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like 10 euros or something, but it's like
crazy.
But like, and the French crowds are really good. Like they really get into their tennis. I don't know if it matters for any of the other slams, but like the home court definitely mattered.
It does. I mean, like look at Luca Pui. Like I don't think if this was the US Open qualifying, I don't think he would get through. Like I'm pretty sure the crowd made a huge factor in that. I'm sure Monfils today, against Baez, like it makes a huge difference. Like I don't think Barrera wins 2 tight sets against Ruusuvuori. Like I mean he lost the match, but like I don't think he wins those sets if there's no French crowd. Like it definitely plays a factor. Definitely plays a factor. So, do you have overs? Because like just.
I mean, it's all kind of the same thing, right? Like it's like in a way, overs kind of are like taking the games a lot of times.
Okay.
Like it's kind of a similar thing. It's obviously not exactly the same. The markets operate differently, but like it's a similar idea, right? Like if a match is going to be close, it's more likely to go over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just it's I'm looking up like so 9 of the 16 matches in the third round of qualies went the distance, which is pretty impressive. Like that's pretty rare to see the majority of matches go 3 sets.
So if you just bet the 3-set line for all 16
you would have made a lot of money.
Matches. It's an interesting thing to consider.
Yeah. And like Hoffman lost to Emer, which I guess I wasn't like stunned by, but again, like it shows you that like being the better player is only worth so much in these qualies. And it's amazing how like, and even being like a top seed or a second seed isn't even that valuable a lot of times. You see a lot of times like the top seeds go down in these qualies.
It's not. I don't really look at seeding. Because also those seedings are inflated by ranking and like
some of the seeds for ATP tournaments, right? Like, and usually the top seeds, I feel like the top seeds do better in ATP tournaments than they do in qualies here. That's, I guess, my point.
I would say so.
I
would agree with that. I like the lucky loser rule that they made. Like you actually pointed that out to me after qualifying, because I pointed on Twitter that I thought like Karatsev and Hoffman wouldn't be that motivated because like their chances of getting lucky losers would be higher.
Yeah.
Kind of corrected me there, and it's like they
did that because it used to be ridiculous. So that actually used to happen. Guys would come out and like play a game, or guys would come out and like not even give effort. Like especially like there's also a possibility for like collusion, right? Like if you're playing a guy, like before, back when they had the lucky loser rule, like if you're playing a guy, right, you just like ask him to tank the match for you, right? If he's gonna get in anyways, be like, hey, like you mind taking a match for me, and I'll give you like half my fee, like.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like, why not? Like, if you're an ATP pro who's fighting for a chance on the tour, like I would do that.
Yeah. True. True.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Who of the qualifiers do you think has the best chance to like make a deep run? Like, I know the first round is over now. What qualifiers are still in?
well, I mean, see both wheels is the obvious one, right?
Yeah.
Um, Hoffman won; he beat Montero.
Yeah. He's a lucky
Um,
loser.
yeah, I guess I consider lucky losers to basically be
Yeah.
qualifiers.
Yeah, I would agree.
Um, I mean, Karatsev is the obvious choice, right? He's the highest ranked.
Luca Pouille is still in there.
Yeah, but I don't think Pui. I mean, who did Pui beat?
Rodionov, which was a
Oh,
rematch
that's right. He
in the
rematched
third round.
Rodionov. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was incredibly
qualifying.
lucky.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
I don't know. I'd probably go.
Oliveri and Vavasori, who are playing each other in the second round, they're both
Well,
qualifiers.
then I guess it's one of them, right? Because one of them has to win.
Third round, yeah.
I mean, if you're asking me who's like the most likely to get to the next round, that would probably be the answer.
Right.
Is pick your favorite between them because I don't know if any of the others. I mean,
Yeah.
Offner has a nice little draw. The like,
both Wild, who will play Pela.
yeah, I think that's a good draw. Offner beat Cressy. Now he plays Korda. I think that's a winnable match given
It's a
Korda's
winnable
form.
match for Offner, yeah.
And then if he wins that, he plays the winner of Kubler and Fognini,
Which is
which is a
winnable
winnable
too.
match.
Wow, that's a really wide open section of the draw.
Yeah, and one of those guys is going to make the fourth round. Um,
Yeah. Which, gone to my head, I'd probably say it's Fonini right now, just because I feel like he's motivated.
yeah, it's just a lot of tennis, man, for the old man.
It helps him that he played straight sets against FAA,
It does, it does.
himself.
And he does get Kubler next round, which shouldn't be a terrible match. But Kubler battles, like, so it couldn't be a pain.
He does. It could be a pain.
I mean, the obvious answer if he's in form is Korda, but we haven't seen Korda in form yet.
Right. And I'm not giving that much weight to that win against McDonald because
No,
McDonald
McDonald's terrible on clay. McDonald's clay, like, well, he's actually done decent on clay. I think he's won a few rounds at the French a couple of years, but I don't think his game translates well to clay in general. Like that flat ball just doesn't really translate very well.
Yeah. All right, I think that's a good way to transition. So what were your future bets that you played here?
Yeah, so I have three main ones. I have all three of these guys to make the final. I've got Cerundolo at 80 to 1. I've got Rublev at 25 to 1 and Kachanov at 100 to 1.
Okay.
What do you think about Kachanov? I know you're usually not a Kachanov guy.
I had Kachanov to win the quarter at 11 to 1. Not to make the final because I just don't necessarily. First of all, he's in the top half of the draw with Alcaraz. And we also have to consider he's in Djokovic's quarter. And I just I don't see any way he gets through Alcaraz, like especially in best of 5. Like in best of 3, he played him pretty tough in Madrid, but like I just don't see how he gets through that. And like he doesn't have a good top 10 record, so I got to consider that. The quarter I like just because Djokovic hasn't looked that great, and you're getting.
I mean, his draw is amazing. Like
the first couple rounds are a joke. It's really Rublev, which I'm worried about, and obviously Djokovic. But that's
like of the like you have to eventually play. You're going to be in a draw with somebody, right? Like some decent tennis player is going to be in your draw. Like just the rules of the ATP are such that like they separate the seeds, so that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Of the top 10 guys, like is there a guy that Kachanov would rather play than Rublev?
Probably
played
not.
out of
And the fact that he beat him in Rome, right? Was it Rome? Yeah, I believe. No, Madrid.
I think it
Madrid.
was either Madrid or Rome. I think yeah,
Madrid.
but like,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's an accident. Like I
No.
think like of the guys in the top 10, Kachanov matches up like decently well with Rublev. Like
Also, he knows his game inside and out, right? So that helps a little bit. So it's really who plays better on that day.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's how that matchup goes, right? And he could play better than Rublev on that
But
day.
like if you look at like the top guy, like the top four, like the top five, like Alcaraz, Medvedev. I think Alcaraz, Medvedev, Tsitsipas are almost impossible for Kachanov to beat. He's just not dynamic enough.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Djokovic in Djokovic's current form, I think, is beatable. But if Djokovic is playing well, then he's not.
Well, another reason why I like the 11-1 is because ADF is in that third, and that like I think getting Djokovic early is better than late, right? But like ADF, that's a trouble match for Djokovic. Like he's gonna have to have his antennas up. Like he's gonna have to play 80% of his
I don't
best.
think it's anything to do with tennis. I think he just has to play decent tennis, which he
Yeah.
hasn't shown. Even Kovacevic, man. Kovacevic has really struggled on clay. Like
Mhm.
to get to for him to get to a tiebreak is probably not a great sign for Novak. But I mean,
Not really.
another round to get into form. But yeah, I mean, the problem with the reality is like I'm probably not going to see that 100-1 futures all the way through. It's probably something that if Kachanov does make it to a semi, you just hedge it and you take like your plus 30 units or whatever. Like, because you could probably get to like, I don't know, like Alcaraz against like Kachanov. You think you can get Alcaraz like minus 700? If he
Yeah,
gets
it's
there and
gonna
put
it's gonna
like,
be it's gonna 750. It's gonna be in that ballpark.
so you put like 70 units on Alcaraz and you get 10 units if Alcaraz wins and 30 if Kachanov wins. And you basically hedge.
Okay. Not a
I
bad
mean,
strategy.
yeah, I don't think it, and that's if Alcaraz makes the semi. Like Alcaraz is beatable, man. I mean, the ball, he beat Cebolla up pretty good. He'll beat Taro Daniel up pretty good. Shapo in the third round can always be scary,
Well, I
right?
think Arnaldi's gonna win that. That's one of my bets of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Arnaldi will too. But if Shapo gets there, it could be scary.
Yeah, Shapo's is a scarier matchup for Alcaraz than Arnaldi is.
Yeah, I
I
actually
agree
think
with
Shapo's a
that.
scary matchup for Alcaraz.
Yeah, because he takes the racket out of your hand. So if he's firing and like backing Shapo as a dog is better than backing him as a favorite.
Also, do you get the feeling that like Alcaraz has like a bit of an entertainer mindset in him? Like, and I don't think it's like an intentional mindset, but like that he like and not in a clowning way, like not in like a curious like clowning way, but like that he doesn't like to like I get the sense that Alcaraz doesn't want to play a match where the other guy makes 60 errors. Alcaraz hits 5 winners and wins the match.
That's definitely part of it. Like, he smiles and he likes to put on a
Like,
show.
I think if Shapo were to come out ripping, Alcaraz isn't going to want to like just let Shapo miss.
No, he's not like Medvedev, right? Like who's just like gonna take pride in that. I agree with that.
But I think which makes Shapo a scary matchup because like Alcaraz is completely capable of over hitting as well. Like that's one of the issues in his game actually. Is sometimes he
You think
overhits.
he's just gonna try to out hit Chapo instead of just kind of yeah, but I think Alcaraz is
He's not gonna. He's more disciplined than Shapo. He's not gonna go full Shapo. But
yeah, and
like
Ferrero is gonna talk some sense into him for that match. Like it's a slam.
look, I'm not saying I back Shapo as I'm not saying
Okay.
Shapo. But I'm saying like, do I think Shapo has like a fifth like a? Will I take Shapo at like plus 1,000? I think so.
I take him plus 2.5 sets if I get like plus 200. That's how I would attack it. Or
Okay.
plus 2.5 sets.
Okay.
If I get like plus 200 or plus 240, that's more how I would
Yeah.
attack that match.
But
But
looking at the rest of that draw, man, like the rest of like Alcaraz's draw is not scary at all. Like,
Musetti beat him in Hamburg last year.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say Musetti's the one guy as I look through the draw.
Probably. I
who's
mean,
like,
Nori beat him in Rio, but that was an unhealthy. And I think Nori's like 2 or 3 levels lower than what he showed in the Golden Swing.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's actually been quite bad.
And Musetti was terrible in that. So that was when Musetti couldn't win a match. I'm still convinced his
Yeah.
shoulder was bad.
And Tsitsipas actually I mean, so first of all, I watched some of that Tsitsipas Vesely
Actually,
match.
yeah.
He was horrible. Tsitsipas. He played terribly, and he should have lost the fourth set. To be honest,
The
like,
thing is, like, if you look at his draw, man, like none of these guys can beat him.
you know.
This Diego is not beating him. You know, Borges isn't beating him. RCB is not beating
Well,
him.
those 3 guys, Baena, Borges, and Schwartzman, are probably 3 of the easiest opponents in the draw that Tsitsipas could ask for. Like
In terms of
the
play
remainder
style.
of the draw, just based on play style.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Tsitsipas, like the type of players he doesn't like playing are guys that hit big on both wings. He hates
Yeah. Well, big period, right? Like, regardless of one wing or both wings, I think it's like just guys he doesn't want to play. Like, he wants to play against guys who he can attack.
Right.
Because that's what he is, right? He's the best attacker in the game. And his problem is that his defense.
I don't
is
necessarily agree with that anymore. I used to, but I don't. I think
Who's a better attacker than him?
I think Alcaraz is. I think Sinner is.
No. Sinner's net game's not good enough.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I guess Alcaraz and Tsitsipas are very different attackers. Like, I think of like
because
like
the
Alcaraz
drop
is
shot
more
is
like
actually
athletic.
an aggressive shot.
What?
The drop shot is an aggressive shot.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying it's not.
Right.
But it's not because of the drop shot. I'm saying like, I think Alcaraz is like a better shot maker. Tsitsipas is a better like
Pure attacker.
yeah, like Tsitsipas, like when Tsitsipas hits his approaches, he still hits better. He hits better approaches than Alcaraz.
His backhand though is such a liability. Like he can't really attack on the backhand. He can only attack when he has a forehand. That's the part where I kind of disagree in terms of being the best attacker, because he can't really attack off that backhand wing. And then he doesn't have a good chip, right? So he can't really like chip and charge either. So it's like he's kind of like he's really good at what he does, but he's like kind of one-dimensional in his like attack strategy.
Well, I guess I'm thinking in terms of like his forehand attack is the best attack is the best like it's the best attacker in the game when he's attacking on the forehand.
But if you pin him to the backhand side, he's not coming to net. He's not hurting you. That's the problem. Like that's why I have such a tough time backing Tsitsipas. Because if he plays a guy like even Fognini, for example, like say he plays him in the 4th round, like and they get into backhand to backhand exchanges, like I back Fognini in that, you know?
Yeah, pure backhand to backhand exchanges, sure. But
obviously in best of 5, physicality is going to come into play and stuff, but like that pattern of play, like that matchup will depend on how much Fognini can get into that patent. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's about
Backhand is a massive liability. You can't.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, like, he wins despite it, right? Like,
yeah, I guess it's just his draw is so easy. Like, he's gonna make the quarterfinals. Like, there's no one there. You know.
But then he has no chance against Alcaraz.
Right.
Like they're like honestly, like I don't see how Alcaraz loses in this quarter, except Shapo. I guess maybe Musetti if Musetti plays amazing.
But 3 out of 5 is different than 2 out of 3.
Oh, I that's why I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, man, like you can see why the futures on Alcaraz is like
plus 140.
plus 140 or plus 130. And it's like crappy value, but like you can see why, because like nobody should beat him.
And so, you're like you're lower on Djokovic than I was, more than I am, right? So,
I mean,
right?
Yeah, the only reason you can support Novak Djokovic at this point is his ghost. right? Which, like, granted, like as recently as the Australian, he was really good. But like, if you're taking anything since the Australian, there's nothing that would support him being anywhere near the top 10.
Yeah. And if he wasn't Djokovic, you put him out of your top 10 in your power rankings, right?
Right.
Just a hypothetical question. Like if Nadal was kind of playing the same level as Djokovic, would he still be in your top 10 in clay court power rankings? Just on like, would he be higher?
Maybe on this court, like at the French, just because of the history of success and because he's won the French, like he's dominated the French years where he wasn't like that amazing on clay. You know what I mean? Where he had
Yeah.
I don't think I like, like years where he's lost in Madrid and Rome, like he's come to the French and been amazing. Like, so I guess I don't know.
That is true.
And Nadal's play style matches the French perfectly. Right? It's like a perfect fit.
And best of 5, like really helps them too. Yeah. Yeah. I like I didn't see value on Djokovic at what like plus 240 either. It's just because like first of all you have Alcaraz in your core in your half, and you have dangerous guys like Fokina. Like that's the popcorn match to me in the third round. I'm really hoping that happens because like Fokina has the game that can trouble Novak if he's not playing his best.
Yeah.
I wonder what the odds for that match are going to
Well,
be.
I think you'll get good odds on Fokina because, like, when the line comes out, I think you're gonna have to attack that early. So I think the market will bet that into a good place.
Yeah.
But like, but maybe not. I mean, maybe it's a line you bet you hit late. Actually, I don't know. Like, do you hit that late and wait for like casual bettors to come in and bet that back? Because I would think the casual bettors would be on Djokovic. Like my thinking is a line
But only at a price better than like minus 200. Like, what do you think the money line will be? Like, Djokovic will be minus 400,
something like that.
something like that.
But you'd be hoping for like the game spread to move and the money line to move accordingly, Because like I guess my thought is like when the line comes out, you'll have a lot of smart money go to ADF, and then. But I don't know how many casuals bet third round French Open matches. It's on a weekend, which probably helps a little bit.
I mean, it will be on Friday,
which is close enough to a weekend.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm really, really interested in seeing that. Like, my preliminary thought is betting Fokina plus 1.5 sets if I can get like plus 200 or better on that. That's kind of where I'm leaning, but that's definitely a danger match for Djokovic. The only reason
I'm taking Fokina to win a set,
Fokina to win 2 sets, I like plus 300.
Okay,
5,300. Like that's where I want to do.
That's not terrible because then if Fokina chokes it away, you don't get screwed.
Exactly, because I think the difference between winning 1 or 2 sets and winning the match is huge, especially with Fokina's like.
I think with Fokina, I think with a lot of guys right now against Djokovic, not necessarily, because we've seen plenty of guys do it recently, but I don't know if Fokina falls in. Like Fokina might be like Fokina is, we know who Fokina is.
Yeah. We might have to do like a longer write up on that match, like on Twitter. We don't do a pod or something, because that's extremely interesting. But like, I didn't like Fokina to win that quarter. I preferred Kachanov because like, if Fokina wins that, there's going to be such a mental release of energy, plus just like a physical. I think like it could be a physical letdown in the next round. Like we saw that what happened against Rune in Madrid, and then he played kind of a pretty crappy match against Coric. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I also think it's a Fokina thing, right? Like Fokina can play, like any match with Fokina is going to be close.
Right. Yeah, which is why I might actually consider taking Van Ash like to win 1 or 2 sets tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't hate Van Ash to win a set there.
Yeah, I mean, you have to see the line, but
yeah.
Some of my other futures were obviously Medvedev 8-1 to win the tournament. That's done on the first round with Seabuff Wild winning today. I had Cerundolo to make the final as well as 80-1. I just much prefer that value than the 100-1 to win the event.
Or even I saw people talking about 150-1 to really win the event.
That was the early line. I still prefer the
even if you could find that line, I still prefer the 80-1 to make the final.
I agree.
Because like he's not a favorite in a French Open final, especially if he has to play Alcaraz.
Or Djokovic. Like if he has to play Djokovic there, like Djokovic is probably playing really well, right?
Yeah.
He gets to that point.
Yeah.
So there's no chance. Even Tsitsipas, like, guess he matches up decently with Tsitsipas, but like in the final, it's tough. You know?
Yeah.
But he really now that Medvedev is done, I mean, he has to deal with Hanfman, but Hanfman just played 5 hours. You know?
Yeah.
And then like that draw actually really opened up for him.
Yeah, I mean Fritz is always scary, but he actually really should be. Well, I actually don't think that draw is really that open for him, to be honest. Like, because if you look, his fourth round
Hanfman and then Fritz, that's true.
Hanfman, Fritz, and then Rune. That's pretty brutal, actually.
That is tough. That is tough.
Like that's three. In my mind, that's 3 top 20 guys on play.
Yeah, I mean they're all winnable matches for him, but yeah, you're right. It's tough.
Like honestly, Hoffman Cerundolo would be like right up there with well actually it'd probably be the best match of the second round if Hoffman didn't just play 5 hours.
Right.
Because I'm looking, man, honestly, these second round matchups are not great.
I think Rusevori Dimitrov is a good one.
Yeah, that could be good. I mean, I don't know.
Karatsev Tiafoe is a good one.
I just don't really. I don't really have much interest in watching Karatsev Tiafoe on clay. Like I just don't think it's a decent match. I just think it's particularly fun. For a second rounder, it's not bad. I actually think Zverev Molchan is a fun matchup. Yeah, just because of the difference in play style.
Sonego Humbert. That's a decent one.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Wawrinka Kokkinakis, that's all right. But like the betting will be interesting on that.
Yeah.
Hui and Nori, I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Musetti, Shevchenko.
Yeah.
They're not great, but I mean, still second round.
Shevchenko is not that good. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you're right about the second, third. Like if Hompton wasn't there, I'd actually like the futures way more. I mean, but now that he played 5 hours, like it's better. But like if Hompton won that in straight sets, I'd be really worried. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he wasn't even supposed to be in that
It's an incredibly rough part of the draw, to be honest. Like the second round is still pretty weak, but once they get to the third round, man, that's a rough draw.
Yeah, it is. But then again, Cerundolo plays top players pretty well. Like he played Ruud in Barcelona. He beat Sinner in Rome.
Well, that's why we like him, right? Like every match in the bottom of that draw is winnable for him.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And
then I had my quarters parlay of Alcaraz, Djokovic, Medvedev, and Rune, and that's done obviously with Medvedev. But we like Medvedev both more than Sinner, right? Like we saw a lot of people that were on Sinner. And
here's the thing with Sinner, right? From a tennis perspective, fine, I get it. He's really good at the sport of tennis. The problem is, like, he's actually not very good at being able to play the sport of tennis. Like, he has. So yeah, I mean, he has. If you look at his losses this year, I'm going to pull them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got. So in Australia, lost in 5 to Tsitsipas in a good match. Like he legitimately lost that match. So we start with lost to Korda, and was like hurt or sick or something. Right, didn't look right in the second set. So one out of one loss was due to physicality. Tsitsipas, I think he legitimately lost in 5 sets. Played a good match. That was actually pretty impressive. He came back from 2 sets down to tie the match.
Okay.
He won Montpellier. Rotterdam, he got gassed out by Medvedev in the final, which was probably more Medvedev than anything else, but he still gassed out. Like, it still is a physicality issue.
Won the first set, if I remember correctly, right? And then
he won the first set and then completely gassed out.
Yeah.
He had to withdraw from Marseille. So 3 out of 5 tournaments so far, he had physicality issues. Indian Wells, he actually played well and lost to Alcaraz. That was a great match, that semi.
But it was still straight sets where he kind of fatigued in the second set, right?
I didn't feel like it was so much fatigue. I just thought Alcaraz played better. Like,
okay.
I wasn't as worried about that one. But if we go to Miami, that one Miami was, in my mind, 100% fatigue.
After the semifinal against Alcaraz, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and he even had a day off.
Yeah.
On Saturday, and then still came back and kind of laid an egg.
Yep.
Oh.
Legitimately lost to Rune. Had to retire in Barcelona. Had to withdraw. And then legitimately lost to Rune. So that's 5. Like, out of 11 tournaments he's played in this year, he's had 5 times when physicality was an issue.
And
when he either couldn't complete the tournament.
Madrid, period.
Right, he didn't play Madrid, period. So that's 5 times out of 11 that he didn't make it through the tournament.
Yeah.
That either got like hurt, sick, or beat up physically by the end. So if he can get through the tournament without getting hurt or sick or running out of gas, he's a great player. But I legitimately think there's like a 25% chance that he gets hurt, sick, or gasses out physically in this tournament. So I don't know how you can bet him knowing there's a 25% chance he gasses out.
Yeah, I mean, if he got through Alcaraz in that crazy 5.5-hour match at the U.S. Open, there's no way he wins that tournament. Ruud would be world number 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you on all those points. I mean, like, plus, I mean, now Medvedev is not in there, but like, in hindsight, it's always easier. But like, if he had to play Medvedev in the quarters, like that's obviously not a good matchup for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but look at his draw now. He's going to be such a huge favorite to win the quarter. He has Altmaier next round, and then either Rusevori or Dimitrov, which actually might be his toughest match. And then either Zverev, Molchan, Karatsev, or Tiafoe in the 4th round. And then the semi will be, or the quarter will be Koric, Kachin, Echeverry, De Minaur, Nishioka, Purcell, Pela, or Seaboth Wild.
I know. I was looking at that, man. Like, that quarter is completely just like tanked with Medvedev not there.
So I think that's a good transition. Before we get into the second round matches, I want to look a little bit into updated futures, because I'm actually curious about doing a Echeverry to win that quarter now.
That's the Medvedev quarter, right?
Yeah.
He's in, yeah.
So Sinner's plus 150 to win that quarter. I actually like that now.
I don't.
Still not?
It's the same problem. Like, yeah, from a tennis perspective, sure, but like, there still is a 25% chance he doesn't make it to the.
Right, you're right.
Gets sick, sprains a toe, trips in his hotel room. Like, it's hard, man. You gotta make it. That's 12 days. Virus, yeah.
He has a lot of viral illnesses.
Yeah.
He doesn't look very healthy. Like, when you look at him, like, he just, like, I don't know. It's
yeah. But the talent is there. Like, as a tennis player, he's really good. The ball striking is really good. It's just, yeah.
Zverev is plus 325 to win that quarter. Koric is plus 700. Koric might. But Coric has a slam problem.
What about Kachin?
No, I don't think he gets through Coric. The physicality is a big. There's a gap there with Coric.
I'm gonna look up what Kachin is to win a quarter. I like his game.
He's 2,500. I have it up.
Oh, ew. No. I thought it was gonna be like 100 to 1 or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Seaboth Wild is plus 1,200 to win the quarter. He has the same odds as Echeverry to win the quarter.
which is a joke to me.
I agree.
Like he was a qualifier.
Do you like Echeverry to win the quarter plus 1,200?
Not really. Like I get it, his draw's not bad. There's nobody who he can't beat in that draw, but like, well, I mean, Sinner would be a really tough match for him. Even Dimitrov, I think, would be tough.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have to play them until the quarter. That's my point.
Yeah, because I get it. Because I mean, you're
Yeah.
right. Because like one of Coric, Kachin, Echeverry, Damonor, Nishioka, Purcell, Pella, or Will has to make the round of 16, or has to make the quarters.
Right. So I think it's either Echeverry or Coric, but I think if Echeverry plays Coric in the round of 32, I think that's Coric is a slight favor, but not by much. And Coric has not been that good in slams recently. You know, like I think he's.
I don't know if Coric has a slams problem. I think Coric has just a consistency problem in general.
You're probably right.
Right? Like if he didn't, I mean, we talked about this before, right? If he didn't win Cincinnati, what would his ranking be?
Yeah, and if
He wouldn't be a seed.
And then semis of Madrid, he's due for like one good run a year, it seems.
Or two, a couple good runs a year, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna hit that Echeverry plus at 12 to 1 to win the quarter. I like it. Because I do think he beats de Minaur.
I don't hate it. I'm not telling you on, but I don't hate it.
Okay.
Like honestly, I look at that and I just think there's like a lot of like I think almost anybody could like I don't know.
Wow, so Cerundolo went from 9 to 1 to win the quarter to 12 to 1 to win the quarter, I guess because of the addition of Hanfman.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Do you like Yari to win the quarter 1,000, but no altitude?
No. Plus he just played a bunch of matches in Geneva.
Yeah, true. Yeah. The outrights, it's still plus 140 for Alcaraz, 210 for Djokovic, 600 for Rune, 850 for Sinner. Yeah. It's about the same for everyone. Kachanov is now plus 1,400 to win the quarter.
Kachanov is down to 14.
Yeah, he was 1,100 pre-tournament, and now he's 1,400 to win the quarter. What's the reason for that? I feel like based on what tennis Twitter was talking about and like the commentary on the match, like people were impressed with Djokovic's first round match, whereas we weren't.
Yeah.
Like I don't
I
really.
think people were waiting to be impressed by Djokovic. You know, like I think there's just like general like people want Djokovic to look good, right? Because it's good for the sport.
Yeah.
And so I think like any faint pulse we're taking as a positive. But I agree. Like I don't know.
I actually
man.
look at this as a negative, like to get broken at the end of that match. Well, Alcaraz did too, by the way, but like to get broken there and to go to 7-6 against Kovacevic, like
yeah,
it's not good. Not good. But
that's probably why, right? That's probably your answer. I mean, plus like that whole draw is still pretty intact. Like I
Yeah.
mean, Hubie won, not impressive, but Hubie won, a good RBA won, Fokina won, Djokovic won. Like, I mean, Sonego beat Shelton, Rublev beat Yuri, which is Yuri was, I think, was a potential stumbling block for Rublev, and Rublev won that. Like if you look at that, Rublev now plays Mutet, and the winner of that plays the winner of Sonego and Humbert. I actually think Sonego could maybe cause problems for Rublev, but like, I don't know, man. Like it's just getting more and more likely like Khachanov is going to have to play Rublev, which like that's not terrible, but it's like not ideal, right? You'd rather him not to play anybody.
Yeah.
Because I think like I still think he probably loses to Rublev.
Yeah, I think Humbert is in better form, but I think Sonego matches up better with Rublev. Like I think he could trouble him more because he's a better shot maker.
Yeah.
And I think Rublev dusted up on Humbert in the Australian Open pretty easily. So
he did, yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So that's
all right. Is that a good anything else in the futures market?
Well, not really. Not really.
Should we take a quick timeout and then we'll go to the 32 second round or 32 second round coming up?
Sounds good.
All righty, man.
Timeout.
Yeah, timeout.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's part 2 of our French Open Megapod. So let's just quickly recap for first round. I mean, we're not going to go through all 64 matches, obviously, but we're going to just like break it down into some of our best bets, worst best bets, most painful bets, and luckiest bets. So, Brad, why don't you start first? Like, what were some of your best bets of the first round?
So I think my 2 best bets were live bets I actually placed. So I bet Varias against Shang when he was down 2 sets, like when he was down 2 sets to 1. I should have bet when he was down 2 sets to none, but I was scared about the price. And then like I suddenly got more excited once he won the third from Shang. But it was only like plus 150, but it was, I don't know, Shang, like it's kind of interesting because and he's still young, right? I think he's like 18. Yeah. But he gasses out.
He does. The physicality part is a problem.
He's not there. And I think he's had at least 1 or 2 retirements this year due to just gassing out. Like, so there's that.
He's talented though. Good ball striker.
Decent ball striker. I feel like he's just more like really consistent.
I mean, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right.
And he hits like a really clean ball, but he's not like the striker that like Sinner or Fritz are.
Yeah. Yeah. Good bet.
I live bet Khachanov was down 2 sets against Leshen at plus 190. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like you knew Leshen was going to gas out. You could see him gassing out like to start the third.
You probably got that at the best possible price. Like I can't like think about a time in that match where you would get a better price than Khachanov.
No, it was 1-all in the third. I think it was the best price. I got it at the Apex.
Yeah, that's really good. That's amazing. Yeah.
The Korea plus 8 bet came in really well, which I thought was, that was just good because like I felt like I was protected if Korea was just coming out to collect a paycheck that he would hopefully just retire after a set.
I don't think necessarily he came for the paycheck. I just think Korea really shouldn't be an 8-game favorite against anyone. No,
I'm not saying Korea did. I'm saying I felt somewhat protected that if he was.
Oh, okay.
Then I'd have some protection. You know what I mean? Like, and he could retire and I could push.
Fair.
I think those were like I had other bets that won, but I think those were my smartest bets. What was your smartest? I know you had a couple of really, really, really smart bets. So I'll let you go through those.
So one of my smarter ones was, let me see, Fucsovics Grenier over 34 games. So Fucsovics is not good enough to beat anyone in straight sets. It doesn't matter who it is, right?
Yeah.
And 34 is a pretty low line, right? So
yeah.
If Grenier pulls out 1 set, which he did, like you're gonna get there, right? So I think that was a good bet on my part there. I like the Montero Hanfman today over 4.5 sets at plus 250. I just think that those guys are just, first of all, neither guy's really going to give in mentally, right? They're just going to kind of both battle. I think the over was a great play there. I just decided to be a little bit more aggressive and all 4 of those sets could have gone really either way, to be honest, or all 5 of them.
Well, they're all one
Maybe
break
not the,
sets.
yeah,
Like
maybe
they were
not
all
the
close
second one,
sets.
but yeah, they were all close sets. So when you're that 2 guys are going to play close sets, like I think the 5-set line is not a bad play.
Yeah, I was pissed that I pushed that. I had Montero plus the games. And I don't think that was the wrong read. I just think it was like slightly. I mean, Montero was up a break in the 5th.
Yeah, and up a break in the 4th as well.
Yeah. And the crazy thing that was not close to my most painful bet of the day. Like today was just pure pain for me.
Yeah, I mean the Montero money line. So I bet it pretty much at the apex too, at like plus 425. Maybe I could have gotten better if it was like at the beginning of the 3rd set, but like I got plus 425 at the beginning of the 4th, and I live bet that.
Yeah,
I could just kind of sense the momentum's turning a little bit in Montero's favor, and I think Hoffman is also a little bit fatigued from the amount of tennis he's played recently. So that was another like slight rationale at live bet. And then Montero was 4-all. I think he had 40-15. It got back to deuce, and then
he had 40 love.
40 love at 4-all.
Yeah.
And then he dumped an easy overhead at deuce.
Yeah.
Which is something exactly I would do, to be honest.
Well, that's why he's Manny Montero. He dumped another overhead too, didn't he today? Didn't he dump another overhead or not? He dumped multiple overheads.
Off the frame, which is like something amateur players do.
Something that Manny does on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, especially in like tight moments in practice sets.
Yeah, exactly. He does not have the Manny drop shot though.
No,
Montero doesn't.
He has a better backhand than I do. Right.
Yeah. But a worse drop shot.
Worse drop shot. Better serve. But like honestly, like actually the way he winds up for his forehand is actually similar to mine.
It is. Like
and then like his battling qualities, like I'll always fight till the end, but I'll use it short. Right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does on the regular basis. It's like it's so it's terrible. But I'm glad I won one bet on myself on the 4 sets, but couldn't cash in on the money line. But that was a great match. It was almost 5 hours. It was terrific.
Yeah.
What was another one of my good bets? Giron money line against Medjedovic was actually a decent bet. Like I know we cringe when we bet Giron money lines, but like he's just a better tennis player than Medjedovic. Like Medjedovic, he's a challenger level player, and you're getting plus money on Giron.
Yeah, like, I should have bet Giron. I don't think I did, but I should have.
Yeah,
it was a mistake.
I'm
now terrified to bet Giron because I've had such little success.
Gotten burnt so many times. Vavasori money line against Kecmanovic was one of my smarter bets.
Was it though? Like that was a really close match, and he got really lucky. He won 3 tie breaks.
But you're getting plus 175 on a more kind of like a 55-45 Kecmanovic. Like I think Vavasori wins that 40% of the time, and then Kecmanovic wins that 60%. So that line shouldn't be plus 175.
It should be like plus 150. Man, that may be true, but it's like, yeah, I don't I also think you're right, but I don't think it was like it wasn't like never in doubt. Like it was a match that like you had to get like slightly lucky.
I did get lucky there. Yeah, I just think like I weigh Kecmanovic's physical issues more than you do. Like I don't think he's the fittest guy. Like I think best of 5 doesn't.
I mean, he got through 5 hours today, and he was. I mean, I don't know. Was he that? I didn't see the match. But was he? I mean, didn't seem like he was that gas. He made it to the tiebreak in all 3 of the last sets. Like
I could see him gassing out like later on, but yeah, that's true. You made tiebreaks in the last 3 sets, so I just
think he's got like he's just like not consistently competitive. We've talked about Kecmanovic a lot, and that's my take. Is like, and he's not quite Krajinovic where he just goes away. Yeah. But like he's like somewhere in between.
Well, that segues into my other like kind of smarter bet is that Tiafoe -5.
That was probably my bet of the week. To actually now come to think like that one was never in doubt, and like Krajinovic is just so good. Actually, so I think it was the Because We Win podcast, the Bet Rivers podcast, that called out that Krajinovic has apparently said in interviews that he's like he has some personal issues as well going on off the court. I don't think he specified what those are, but that makes a lot of sense because he just mentally looks like he's not interested in tennis sometimes right now.
Especially when he loses a set, like the mental fortitude it takes to come back. Like he's just not willing to dig in. It just like it's So, and 5.5 really in the best of 5 match, especially on clay, is not that much.
No, it's 2 to 3 breaks in 3 sets. It's not huge.
Yeah. Offner -4.5 against Cressy. Like, should anyone be less than 6 games against Cressy?
The problem is it still is hard to break his serve. Like, what did Offner win by 6?
Yeah, I don't remember the score. That match was early.
I thought it was 6-3 and 4, but I could be wrong.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Like, it was a good bet, no doubt, but I don't know that I'm going to put it in like your Hall of Fame best bets.
Okay.
4, 6, and 2. So it was not bad. I mean, we used 4.5 you were playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah. And I thought the +8.5s with Harris against Zverev today and Seaboth Wild against Medvedev were good bets. Like 8.5 is just it's a lot. Like I like 5.5 is not that much, but like
but like I mean, but as much as Zverev struggled in that match, it was a 7-game gap. One more break, and Zverev gets to the 9. Because I had the other end of that. Actually, we went opposite on that, and you got me on that one. But like,
I mean, I thought I was sitting pretty after the second set. Like the
you were. I mean, you had it clinched after the second set. You were. You know what I mean? Like it was.
That's right.
Like so, you were sitting. I mean, you were sitting more than pretty. Like you had won the bet. Like, right. But trying to find some stats on that match because. Like it felt like Zverev was winning, and it could have just been how I was feeling about the match, but it felt like Zverev was ahead in a lot of the games, like on Harris's serve, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look at the game script, but
yeah, I'm looking now. Zverev, well, no, I mean Harris generated 8 break points. Zverev only generated 5.
Yeah.
Like Harris was. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, Zverev is not the quickest starter in these slams. Like he typically struggles like to be in slams. Like a couple of years at the French Open, he lost the first 2 sets to Oscar Ote. And then like lost the first 2 sets last year to Baez early on in the tournament. Like.
He had a hard time with Zapata.
Yeah, and then honestly, he's in worse form now than he was during those years when he was.
It's not about Zverev; it's about Harris. I mean, Harris had lost 4 and 2 to Rinderknech. Like Zverev is better than Rinderknech. Like I don't think that's a debatable comment.
You're right, but like, I think Harris has more upside than like Oscar Ote. For example, especially on like slow clay.
Yeah, but this is Harris coming back off an injury. I don't know. I mean, I just think it's hard. Like, my takeaway is that we've always said, like, it's just fool's errand, I think, betting these matches. Like, I don't even know why I bet the 8.5. Like, it's just like it's like the books are pretty good at getting it pretty close. Like, the difference between 7 and 9 is 1 break.
Yeah. Maybe it feels like it's more than it is. Because like I was actually more worried in the Medvedev match after he lost that first set. Like if he won the first set 7-6, I'd be less worried.
Yeah.
So
like the especially on clay, like you could easily have a 6-2 set. and then
Yeah.
that's 4, right? Which puts a big dent. Now, so like 8.5 in best of 5 is like 6 or so in best of 3. We see 6 as spreads for the
Right.
top guys, or against guys who aren't ATP caliber.
So do you think that's a good way to attack it? Like if you see an 8.5, 9 game spread, like just say, okay, if this was a 2 out of 3 set match and this was 6, would you bet the +6?
Yeah, I think so. Unless there's a difference in like physical, unless you think one guy's gonna gas, but like, yeah, I just think that like, yeah, and I think like honestly, I think most of them you should just stay away from those because like it's also like we've talked about this before, like it's like betting on like a 28-point spread in football. Like you don't know, like is the team gonna try to win by 28 or are they gonna be happy winning by 21?
Yeah, it's slams though, and it's like set scoring. So like the difference between winning 6-1 and 6-4 is very small.
That's the point. So like, why would you bet on that either way or letting juice?
That's true. But like what I'm saying is that each guy is really trying to win every game. It's not like they're trying to like give their opponent games.
Yeah, but I mean, some guys will cruise a little bit on the opponent's serve and let guys hold. Not as much on clay as other surfaces, but like some guys will like because you're not going to win every game. Nobody does that. I can't remember the last time.
But that's what happens with like Kyrgios on grass. Like he'll give the opponent the game, right? Because he knows he's serving the next game if he's up a break, right?
Yeah, you don't see it as much on clay. I agree.
Yeah.
But it's even like if a guy starts to like, but you still see guys go through like dull periods or like their energy drops a little bit if they're doing well and they start to kind of like. I don't think it's like you're right. It's not the way grass is where guys kind of like tank games, but it's more like guys just like kind of fall asleep for a little while and like fall,
Yeah.
And it's almost like they get comfortable and know like, okay, you know what, I can like stay in this set till 3-all and win it from 3-all. And like that's not good, but maybe they don't, right? Maybe they decide to gun it, or not decide to gun it, but maybe they just started playing well and gunning it and win it 6-0 or 6-1 or 6-2. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What about like pain? I know you've had.
So today was horrible. So here's my list of bets for today because it was just brutal. So I had Baez -6. So that was looking great after the like Baez. That was looking great. Like first 3 sets were not great. Monfils was 2-1, but Baez won the 4th 6-1. Got double break 4-love. I needed 6-2 to cover. Looking good. Guys won 1 game in 2 sets. Just got to get 2 more holds. No. Monfils comes back to win. Great though for like drama in the sport, but terrible for my betting.
I actually thought that we called that match pretty perfectly. Like if Monfils didn't have like the greatest second wind in like history and Baez didn't like completely choke that, like we called that game.
Monfils has done that before, where Monfils has like tanked away games and sets and then magically just like responded.
He has.
But this is not the first time
Monfils has done that. Who hasn't won a match in like a year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Like, how can you expect this to happen? Like,
you can't. Brutal. You can't.
Yeah, that was painful. Okay, keep going.
Montero +5. So Montero lost the first 6-3, 7-5, but came back and won the 3rd in the tiebreak. So I'm like, all right, feeling better. And then guys have a break in the 4th. And I'm like, all right, we're good. You gotta cruise, hold serve, get broken once in the 5th, and we're done.
Nope.
Looking good. Nope. Gets broken back, gets to the tiebreak, but wins the tiebreak. It's like we still got a chance, still feeling okay. We get so now we're -3. 5th set, we go up a break again. Now we're feeling great because all we got to do is get to a tiebreak. We just have to only get broken once in the back half of the 5th set, and we're good. We get broken once, that's fine. We're still good here. 4-all, we're at 40 love, cruising. We're gonna go 5-4, but the pressure on the other guy.
He was up 4-1. He served first, so he's up 4-1.
Right, he's up 4-1. Yeah. So we're cruising. We give up the break 4-3, 4-4. It's okay. We just got to get to 6. No, NBD. We're gonna go 40 love, feeling good. We're gonna get all right, 1 easy hold in the bag. We're gonna get 5-4, put the pressure on the other guy. If he holds, no problem. We're gonna hold the next game, get to 6, and then we don't care, right?
Yeah.
No, 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 no. We get 40 love to deuce. We miss an easy overhead, and we lose the game. So yeah, that which was
That
amazing.
is so
Actually,
brutal.
Montero went down a break. You went down a break in the third, and you came back and broke confidence serving for the match.
I know. Yeah.
So that was pretty painful. Cerundolo, yeah, I had Cerundolo Munar over 35. So I called that match pretty well because I said, like, you and I argued, debated this. I was like, Munar's going to give him trouble.
Yeah.
And for 3 sets, that was
Good.
3-6, 6-1, 7-6.
Yeah.
So all I needed was 4 set over 7.5.
6-2.
All we need.
6-1. And
6-1.
Didn't Munar serve first too in the fourth?
Yeah. Not that really matters because for Munar, like, it doesn't matter if he's serving first or second. Like, he can't hold serve anyways. But like, yeah, but like
for me, I had Cerundolo -5.5, so I had a backdoor cover there. So like,
yeah,
we argued, and I kind of won that. I guess I won that debate barely.
by a game. I'm gonna call that as close to a draw as you can get.
All right, fine.
I had Bublik plus 120 money line. Was
I'm betting Giron here. You're betting Bublik. I mean, this is ridiculous. All right,
but Bublik, like, I mean, he lost 7-5 in the fifth. Like, so that was painful. He was up 2 sets to 1, so felt decent, but then nope. But the one that takes the cake, well, I had JJ Wolf -120. That lost
2 sets
again in the fifth.
2 sets to love, man.
And from 2 sets to love up, so that was brutal. And then the one that takes the cake is I had Molchan over 19.5 versus Hugo Gaston. Gaston was up a break in the third. And again, all we got to do is get to 5-all, and we're good. We're feeling all right. Life is
Didn't
good.
he have multiple game points in that?
He was up 4-3. He was serving up 4-3. So all we got to do is get 1 home in 2 games.
Jeez.
We get broken from 40-15 up. Like,
did he do the same thing in Madrid? I wonder if he did the same thing that he did in Madrid, where he just like took a ball out of the pocket. Did he get fined enough for that? Didn't he get like fined like a ridiculous amount of money?
It was like 15,000, I mean, which is fair. Like, that's just such a ridiculous action to take a ball and throw it square out of your pocket. Like,
oh man.
I mean, it's amazing how much of clowns some of these guys are. I mean, like I wouldn't even ever think of doing that. Like, so yeah, that was my day. Absolutely. But then I also had the Zverev -8.5, which is a dumb bet. Like, that's I'll take the pain for dumb bets, but like when you have 7 out of 8 bets, they're just pure pain. It's just
that's pure pain. That's brutal. That's brutal. I think my my most painful bet was the Feast Fokina over 35.5. So Fokina was up 2 sets to 1. And then the fourth set, Feast was up 3-0. He was up a break.
Yeah.
And then doesn't win a game after that. I just needed him to get the 4 to get to 36.
Yeah.
Like, no. Fokina just went 6 games on the trot. So that was probably my most painful bet. One good, like, I'm not going to give myself the credit for it, but like the Tarante VDZ match. So on Bovada, you all have to look on Bovada, because like Bovada makes a lot of mistakes. Like we caught so many mistakes. So if you bet Tarante to win on the money line, you would have gotten plus 350. But if you went onto the futures tab and went to VDZ, what round do you think he's going to lose on? If you pick the first round, it was plus 500. Yeah. So that's basically like betting a Tarante money line, right?
Yeah.
But so we got plus 500 on that, and that cashed. So that was a really good win. But VDZ is really not that good on clay. Like he's not. So, and then Tarante also qualified. So, but for me, for sure, I think the Feast Fokina takes the cake in terms of pain.
Yeah, that
Wolf,
is. Yeah.
Wolf is, that was a close second. That's pretty brutal. Some dumb bets I made was RBA against Wu over 36.5. That probably is one of my dumber ones. Ymer Musetti Ymer plus 7 against Musetti was probably a dumb bet. Just the Ymer's compete level is not that high. Team money line against Kachin was not a smart bet. Yeah, I would say that's it, I guess, for the most part. Do you have like a smart bet that didn't cash?
Um, Probably most of those pure pain bets,
Okay.
right from today.
That's
Well,
in
I
the
thought
same
like
category.
I
Right.
thought I had pretty good reads on most of those matches, and
Yeah.
the money lines. No, I'm not gonna say those are just pain either way. But like, I also had a pretty good read on the Cerundolo match. And also had a pretty good read on the on the
Hoffman Montero.
he had a decent read there. No, I was gonna say more like the Molchan Gaston.
Yeah, you had a good read on that. A
Like,
lot of people on Twitter were on the Gaston money line there. And
yeah,
your angle was definitely better for sure. So all right, let's transition to second round
the part
matchups.
that actually is helpful for people, like after our like hour, 2 hours of just bullshitting.
I think people enjoy our bullshitting though.
I hope.
I
All
hope
right.
I hope so too.
So we start with tomorrow. Early match, Fonini and Kubler. Kubler Kai. Um
Uh,
Fonini should win this, right?
you should.
Um and I think it should be like pretty big. I mean, what's the spread there?
4.
4? I mean, it
So,
sucks because like
so
is this
my
like, let's just go Fonini money line and lay the minus 185? I feel like it is. No?
my play here is the under 37.
I don't know, man. Like,
Because
do you think Fonini wins in straights?
I don't think he loses more than one set. And also I think that there's a chance of a lot of lopsided sets here. Because you're either Fonini could just go away completely, or Fonini just could completely outplay Kubler because he's just so much
Well,
better
here's a
to
fun
play.
little stat for you, right? So in 25 of Kubler's last 26 sets, the winner has won 6 games. So 25 of Kubler's last 26 sets have gone 10 games or less.
Ooh. So Kubler hasn't played the tiebreak in like a long time.
We played one against Husler in Rome. But
Okay.
like Husler's the guy you would expect to play a tiebreak against.
Okay. Fonini is not.
No.
So that's why I like the over, because I feel like you
I
can
mean
get
the under.
the under, because I feel like you can get to under 37 even if they go 4 sets.
Yeah, I mean, so Fonini has played one tiebreak and one 7-5 set in his last. Well, we'll just take since he came on to clay in Europe this year. So in
Mm-hmm.
the 15 sets he's played on clay this year in Europe, European clay, he's played one set of longer than 10 games.
Yeah, because he doesn't like expending energy. So if Fonini is winning,
Yeah.
he'll win easily. But if like he's not gonna battle Kubler.
The problem is this makes 37 like 39, I'd be 100% with you on the under. But like 37, like
What about 37.5 and just lay a little 10 more cents of juice?
yeah, I don't know. It sucks. I feel like in best of 5, the you know what? I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna play the under there. I'm gonna tell you on
Under?
that. I think that's the right play. Maybe not. You have to lay juice.
You like Fonini minus 1.5 sets at minus 110. I don't. I prefer the under because then like you could get there's a scenario here where just Fonini doesn't want to play tennis, and Kubler wins it easily.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like this is Fonini's last slam, or this is probably his last run here, man. It's the last time he's getting in direct entry because he's now ranked 130 in the world.
Yeah.
So, and Fonini's always been like a crowd pleaser, entertainer, emotional player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to come out unmotivated.
So you
What
like
is over 3 point? Well, you know what? Yeah, you know, I think I'm gonna like.
It's one of those two plays, minus 1.5 sets or the under.
What is the money line again? Minus 185 for Fonini and what is
Yeah.
it for Kubler?
Plus
Plus
155. That's not good, in my opinion. I don't like laying games here or taking games just because of the chance of lopsided sets. It's too much variance with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm torn between the Fonini minus a set and a half and
The under 37.
the Fonini money line.
Bonini money line is like for me, it's a parlay piece. But I don't think I'm gonna, I don't think I'm gonna, it's too much juice. For someone who's like mentally kind of fragile.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of playing the angle of like this is his last run, right? Like he did beat FAA in straights. Kubler won in 5, right?
Against
Yeah,
Diaz
Kubler won in 5 over Acosta.
Yeah.
Like Fonini's the better player. It's just a matter of like, because like the scary thing here is like Fonini could give away a set or two. But
So
not
then play the under.
but if he gives away like the problem is like 37 is a pretty low under, right? Like
Okay.
even
Do
if he
you
gives away
see
like
any scenario in which Kubler wins this? Unless Fonini doesn't want to play?
no, which is why I'm thinking going the money line. The money line to me feels pretty safe here. You lay juice, but it feels pretty safe. Like Kubler should not win this.
Yeah.
Kubler's wins on clay this year are Verdasco and Galan in Houston, Tungwin Wu and Sean Chung Hong in the Sarasota Challenger, Danny Rincon in Barcelona, and Huesler in Rome, and now Acosta. Like none of those are good wins.
Not good.
I just feel like the money line, yeah, you're laying juice, but it's pretty safe.
I'm leaning more the minus 1.5 sets.
I guess it's a matter of how much you want to be aggressive with it, and like, do you trust Fognini to like not give away 2 sets?
If he's even halfway motivated, he should win this pretty easily. That's how
I don't think it's like a motivation for the match question. I think it's like a will he mentally lapse?
Yeah, right.
But I guess like, do I really trust Fognini at this point in the 5th set?
Yeah, but if it goes 5, you lost that bet anyway.
But that's why maybe you go with the one. I gotta, yeah, like that, like that. There's definitely a play on Fognini here. It's just which one you want to do and how aggressive.
I like the minus 1.5 sets because if Kubler wins two sets, you lost the bet anyway, so you don't even care about the 5th. Because like the only way I think if this goes 5, Kubler actually has an edge, right? So I think the most likely scenario is Fognini in 3 or Fognini in 4, which is why I like the minus 1.5 sets at minus 110. Because you're laying way less juice then.
Oh, obviously the difference in juice between 110 and 185 is massive.
It is. I'm going with the -1.5 sets, I think. That's my play here.
I am likely going to be following you. Like in fact, I'm going to follow you.
Okay.
I think that's the right play.
Next match, RCB and Tsitsipas. RCB Carvalhais Baena is a +7.5 game favorite. He's +700 on the money line. Tsitsipas -1200. The over/under is 33 here. What's your play?
What is the over on games for Tsitsipas?
19.5.
And what's under 19.5 for Tsitsipas?
-115. I'm actually thinking about that.
I like that.
I like
Do
that.
these guys have any head-to-head?
No, but this is a matchup that Tsitsipas would like because RCB can't really hurt him.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I just wanted to see if there's any head-to-head to show me that that's the case, just as like some empirical data. There is.
Mm-hmm.
Tsitsipas is 1-0
Mm-hmm.
and barely beat him in 18 in Estoril.
Yeah,
It's a
but
long time ago.
it's a long time ago. Tsitsipas is a way different player than he was back then. What I just want to look at Tsitsipas's like tennis abstract.
You got to be careful. He's been so out of form recently, and like part of this is the matchup. Like I feel like this is a good matchup for Tsitsipas to just do this in
Yeah,
straights.
that's what I'm looking at. So like he won 3. Like Borges is kind of in the same kind of game like style as RCB. He beat him 3-3.
But RCB is way better.
Yeah, he's a better version of that. Zapata 3-1.
But again, that's not at all what RCB is.
De Minaur 4-2.
Baez is kind of similar-ish, but RCB is way worse.
Right. Kachin 4-2.
Munar is kind of similar-ish to RCB.
Okay.
Like obviously, like De Minaur is more of a hard quarter than a clay quarter because he's like his fork is better on hard than clay, but like he's that same kind of defensive-oriented player.
Yeah, I see Vesely, he's lefty, right? So Vesely's not a good matchup for a Tsitsipas, even though like the ranking disparity is huge because like Vesely can serve big. He has a lefty.
Yeah, this isn't a
right?
ranking-based play. This is a matchup-based play.
Yeah.
Like the way the styles interact.
I like the under 19.5.
And you still have room if he plays one bad set Tsitsipas.
Right.
What is Tsitsipas in straights? That's probably way worse, right?
-170. But
under 3.5 sets is -125.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I might do that. Like that way you're not flirting with like the what if 2 of the sets are close. It's only 10 cents.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah. Guess this is just a matchup that Tsitsipas just loves because like RCB can't really hurt him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Offner and Korda. Interesting to hear your take here. So Offner is a 4-game dog, +150. 37.5 is the total.
Let me just get that entered. I'm with you. I'm definitely taking the under 3.5 sets on that. The straight sets on that. It's a pass match.
Oh, under 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Offner and Corda. This is probably a stay away. I'm leaning Offner money line at plus 150. Just like if Corda is like healthy and feeling like back to 100%, like he wins this 85 or probably 90% of the time. Right? It's just like I don't know where Corda is in his like recovery.
Yeah, I mean, he lost to Hugo Grenier in Madrid, Safuin in Rome,
And McDonald in the first
but he
round.
beat McDonald. But like beating McDonald's not great.
What was it? What was the score there? Like, was it
4-5 and
convincing?
4. Beating Cressy tells you nothing.
Are you leaning Offner here?
Ah, I think so.
And what has Offner done? Did he qualified, right?
Yeah, yeah, he qualified.
Pretty convincingly.
Yeah, he lost
Lost.
his set to Choinsky. Played a tough match against Noguchi. I mean, played a tough match against Acosta, like 2 sets from 5-3. Like, but he offers had a pretty decent ish challenger season. I don't know. I mean, we kind of know. I mean, like, I don't know. Offner kind of is who he is. Like,
Beat
he's a
Vavasori.
what?
Beat
Like,
Vavasori in April.
this is all about Corda and like how is Corda? Um, I think if you're gonna play this, the play would be the play would be the money line. It would just be to take the plus 150.
How about Offner plus 1.5 sets at minus 125?
Plus one sets always scares me because he has to win 2 sets, not one, to make that.
Yeah, right. You know what? I'm gonna hit it, but it's not like a parlay. I'm not. It's a plus money bet, so
I was thinking this is a like a half unit bet.
okay. All right, that's fair. All right, next match, Sonigo against Umber. So I have one very clear play, and I'm curious to see if you're gonna tail me. It's Umber money line minus 125.
What's the over 3.5 sets? They don't have it.
No.
Is there like can I make a play here and go with like a see yeah, there's just not many alternate lines here available.
Yeah.
Because like I want to go with like a 5 set play. Like because to me this just feels like a back and forth match.
I don't necessarily think so. I think Umber it should be a solid favorite here. He's had a really good clay court season.
I don't disagree with that statement.
And I think like Sonigo is actually more erratic. Umber is going to get most of the crowd support. So I see it like on the other site. I see 5 sets at plus 210.
You see what?
5 sets as being plus 210. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather play the over then, the over 39 at minus 115. Because I think these
It's
sets
just like it's tough. Like the problem is like we like Umber's had a really nice season, but we haven't seen him against great competition. Sonego just beat him at Monte Carlo. Granted, it was a tight 3 setter, and that's obviously not in France. It's Monte Carlo, or it's not in Paris. It's Monte Carlo. It's different. I don't know, man. Like that's what I'm kind of like in like over 39 games is a lot of games though. For
It
two guys
is,
who
but this
aren't
is
particularly
the
big
matchup where
servers,
you don't see that many breaks. You're gonna see more
holds
longer
and
sets
breaks.
here.
Yeah.
And I just think like that crowd is gonna push Humbert. I mean, it's not that I don't trust Sonego fitness, but like Humbert impressed me with like backing up 4-hour matches and challengers, like coming back.
Yeah, my fear with him there is like, so I'm looking at something there right now. So Humbert versus the top 100 on clay in the past 2 months
Mhm.
is 7-4.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know, like, like a couple of those wins are guys like Monterino, um, Galán, like, I don't know. He's like,
All right,
Humbert's minus 125.
but if we look at recent body of work, beat Echeverry, beat Wawrinka pretty easily, beat Fields pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm not as excited about
The
beating
two
Pease.
losses are
People.
to
I mean, people have
Rusevori,
beaten.
and they're tight. One is 6-6, and one is 6 in the third. Beat
Yeah, but he lost
Judy.
this. I mean, but he lost to Sonego, right? Like those better guys that he's played, like that's Sonego's level. Is a guy like Etch, Jiri. I guess you could throw Lajovic in there. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
They
It's
played in
weird.
Monte Carlo this year as 7-5 in the third. But doesn't that scream over to you?
39 is just a lot of games. But I might do that. Like to me, I'm tempted to play the over.
But
Like,
don't you think home crowd matters here? Like that. So like the fact that it was 7-5 in the third in Monte Carlo, which I guess it's Monaco, it's not France, but like you take it to a pure French crowd and that
it's
French.
not that I don't think Humbert's the favorite here, Manny. Is he
Okay.
enough to be minus 125? Like, can he how often do you think Humbert wins this?
Current form, probably 65% of the time.
Okay, so then you're way higher than I
Yeah.
than on
I'm pretty clearly on Humbert here.
then obviously that makes sense. I'm closer to like I think Humbert wins this, but I think it's like 55-45, which means I'm never taking Sonego here on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, can I find my way to the question here is the over the right play or is it the Humbert money line? And that's what I got to decide. Like,
You like Humbert 3-2 at plus 500?
I might play it that way because I think that's a great play here. And then I don't know. Let me look at what Sonego's done on clay this year. Like the tough part of this too, honestly, is that like Humbert's played a lot of challengers, so it's really hard to look at challengers and like judge like.
Yeah, but he played two Challenger 175. So a lot of those guys lost early in either Madrid
I
or Rome,
know,
and they
I
went
know.
there. So the competition wasn't that bad.
Okay, it probably wasn't as strong as. It's not nearly as strong as Sonego's competition.
Sonego lost to Tsitsipas in Rome. Lost to Struff easily in Madrid first round. Lost to Garin in Munich. Lost to Medvedev in Monte Carlo pretty easily. It's not a great clay court swing.
Yeah, but it's not terrible. Like,
The wins are against Nishioka, Shardy, Alice in a tight three-setter. Humbert.
yeah, I mean, a big part of this is how much you weight the home crowd, right? Because I think
Uh,
this is really close in terms of like pure players, right? Like as players and given form, I think this is pretty close. And it depends how much you weight the home crowd, I think.
I don't necessarily agree. I think Humbert is a pretty sizable favorite. Like I think he should be minus 140 here, not minus 125.
A juiced minus 140?
Yeah. And I think he should be minus 125 if you're not like if this was a neutral court. Or like this was like in America or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is pretty I
Okay.
think this is pretty close. Like I think this is because I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I look at it like it's hard for me to discern, like, yeah, I guess when Bears record's a little better, but again, like, I'm not saying the competition level is terrible,
Hmm.
but a lot of those wins he racked up against guys outside the top 100.
Yeah, okay.
Like the wins
I
that in Umber's list of wins, the wins that are good wins are Etch, Vavrinka, Fees is decent, and Jiri.
but I look at the losses with some the losses give some clout as well. Like the two losses to Rusevori could have gone his way easily. The loss to
Yeah, but
Sonego
like,
could
is
have
it
gone
better
his
to
way
lose close to
easily.
Rusevori or to get beat down by Medvedev and Tsitsipas?
I don't necessarily think losing to those guys easily. Losing to those guys easily is actually really bad. Because like I don't think Tsitsipas is playing had that great of a
I mean, 3-6
court
isn't that
space.
bad, but I don't know. I mean, like, I think Tsitsipas is still
And then
better
Medvedev
than
in that like at that time when I
in
think he was
Rome.
way better. Like no, he lost him easily in Monte Carlo. So that was a worse version of Medvedev than what we saw in Rome.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know. Like, I'm not arguing
I'm
like
clearly on the Umber side here. It's not even close.
one other thing here.
I'm actually thinking of going more aggressively and going with the minus 1.5 sets at plus 140.
Ah, man, you know what? Though? So here's something interesting. That was Umber's first win at the French in his career. Umber had been 0-5 previously at the French.
Yeah, that's because you don't think of him as a clay court player. Like this is the first year where he's actually like really kind of learned to play on the surface. Yeah,
Do I mean, I don't know. It's like, do I trust? I don't know,
that talked
man.
me out of the minus 1.5 sets, but like I'm sticking with the money line. All right, think about
I'm thinking about the over. Give me another minute here. I'm thinking about the over because, like, in my mind, I'm off the money line,
it.
but I'm still considering if the over makes sense. I think you might be right. This might be a spot. Like, sometimes it's good to take the high overs, and like this might be a spot to take the high overs.
Yeah.
Um, Sonego.
Both guys are neither guy's a really good returner. And Umber has that lefty serve, which is going to give Sonego trouble, hooking him wide. And then Sonego has a pretty good first serve. I think the sets are going to be competitive here.
And Sonego loves to play long matches at slams.
He does.
I think that's gonna be my play.
The
I
over
think I'm gonna
39?
run with the. I think I'm gonna run with the over here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
'Cause I don't. I actually don't see Sonego getting blown out. Like I think the range of outcomes here is like Humbert wins close, or either guy could win close. And I think there's a chance that Sonego outplays Humbert because Sonego just plays really well and makes a lot of amazing shots. I don't think Humbert, but I don't think it's very likely. I don't think Humbert beats Sonego like in straights very often here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna rock the over.
Over. Okay. Wawrinka and
Well, but
Kokkinakis
it's minus 115. This might be a well set line. I'm gonna stay away.
here.
No, not well. I'm gonna stay
Oh,
away here for sure. This is a dead
here.
stay away.
I am not staying. I'm going Kokkinakis money line. So like, I don't like that Wawrinka played a long 5-setter against ARV only a day ago on Monday. He's 38 years old. Kokkinakis had the way easier match. I don't really trust Wawrinka to kind of rebound from that physically. And that's the angle I'm taking here. No? Like, I actually think the over is a terrible play here because, like, I can.
Looking at something.
The thing which, like, gives me cause to pause is, like, the Kokkinakis' like, choking tendencies.
Yeah, I mean, look. So Wawrinka went 3 hours with Mikhail Emer back in Nets.
Okay.
And then he had to retire in the semis.
Right.
Queens Club, he went 2 hours, 45 minutes with Tiafo on grass. Next round, he lost to Tommy Paul 1-4. So, like, I think there's definitely something to be said there. That said, like,
How long was the match against ARV?
4 hours. No,
That's long.
it wasn't listed. Let me see. I'll look up the French Open website. The answer is longer than it should have been. Wawrinka was up 2 sets to 0.
Yeah, you're right about that.
4:35. It was long.
4 hours and 35 minutes?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah. Kokkinakis all the way. 4 hours and 35 minutes and 38-year-old Wawrinka, who's a little bit chunkier than he used to be. I don't think he's going to rebound from that very well.
That's why I can never back Wawrinka here.
Yeah.
It's just like the problem is like, so flip it around. Kokkinakis' best win on clay this year coming into the French was Bash. Like I know he beat Evans. But his best win prior to that this year on clay was Bash. Like
Okay. And that's why he's a dog here.
so it all depends. Like my point is like Wawrinka is the better player.
Yes.
Like you're the only angle you have here, the only narrative you have is he's just too gassed to play. Which might be viable, man. I'm not saying that's not a viable plan, a viable reason, but does that get you all the way to minus 105?
Yeah, you're not even getting plus money. If it was like plus 130 or something, 100%, but
What's the over here?
it's 39 and a half. I don't like that at all.
What's the over for the first? What about the first set over 9.5 at minus 150? I know you hate minus 150 bets.
Let's choose.
But if Wawrinka has gas, it's gonna be in the first set.
No, it might not be the opposite. Sometimes you just come out slow and then you need that second win.
After playing 4.5 hours, he's gonna be tired for the first set. I don't know.
No, you come out sluggish. Like you just come out like not gas, but
I don't
just
think he's gonna come out I don't think he's gonna come out sluggish after 4.5 hours. I think he'll come out gas. But if he's got, I mean, whatever he's got in the tank, he's gonna have to. I don't know.
Nah, it's minus 150. I don't like that. You know what? You're right. I'm gonna stay away. You're right.
I'm gonna stay away too.
Just stay away from that match.
Yeah.
Schwartzman and Nuno Borges. Schwartzman is a 2-game favorite, minus 140, over 37.5.
I can't. How can you bet this?
Borges money line.
I mean, Borges really isn't a clay guy, is he? I thought he was more hard courts.
Is he really an anything guy?
Yeah, I mean, he won the Phoenix Challenger.
That's true. That's true.
Borges was 2-5 this year, heading into the French on clay. Just played 5 hours with Isner. Granted, it's different because it's Isner, so the points are short. But like,
and Isner is just a different matchup. Like you got to throw that out because it doesn't mean
much.
I'm
not saying like I'm saying the fact that you just had to stand on the court for 5 hours.
Okay.
Like, does he have the energy, right?
To me, it's just like I don't put much weight into one win against Zapata. Like when all of your other matches were just complete duds. Losing to like guys easily.
Yeah, I think if you're getting
Way
plus
outside of the
150,
top
it's not
100.
Nuno. I hate doing it, but I think you're right.
Like I just don't trust Schwartzman just from one win. Like you look at all these losses, like losing to Grenier in straight sets, losing to Mattia Bellucci, who's worse than Borges. Nakashima, who before Lyon, like, he was way down. Borges beat him in the Phoenix Challenger 5-3. Like, do you really think like his level is that much different now?
I mean, it's a different surface, right?
Different surface, but still.
Schwartzman's been better on clay than anywhere else this year. That's not saying he's been good on clay. It's saying he's been better on clay than on hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he's 4-13 in the last 52 weeks on clay. 3-11 since 3-11 this year. That includes the win over Zapata. That was a long match.
Yeah, and the 2 sets to love comeback always takes more out of you.
Yeah, wow, man. And do you realize this? Schwartzman is down to 95 in the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's done. Like, he's not going to play in ATP events anymore.
Borges is ranked ahead of him.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think Borges at plus 115 is the play here. I think
so too.
I think you're right.
I hate to do it because I love Schwartzman. I just think like from a betting perspective, like that's where the value is.
Yeah.
You know? Right. Greek Sport against Hubie Hurkacz.
So I already put a bet on this. I think I went the over here.
What is
And
it?
I don't see how you wouldn't tail me on that. I got it at 39, but even at 39.5, I'd take it. Like that screen, like Hubie loves to play long matches.
How about Hubie to win and over 38.5? Like, who do you think wins this match?
Hubie.
So I'm a little bit worried about Greek Sport fitness because, like, didn't he retire recently?
Yeah, I am too. But if he retires, you push on that.
Right.
Yeah, he retired against Munar and then he walked off of Geneva. But then he just played 5 sets against Pedro.
Right.
But Greek Sports played. all five, and I don't know if this is really that relevant or not, but all six of Greek Sports best of three matches this year went at least 25 games. So all five of his completed matches on clay went 25 or higher.
And
that's in a best of three.
And then Hubie is Mr. Over.
Yeah. Like 39.5 is a lot, but like,
yeah, I think
is anybody ever getting a 6-2 set here?
No.
And I think there's plenty of opportunity for at least one, if not. What is a tiebreak in the match? Is that prop up on this match or not?
Minus 175.
Still actually doesn't feel like a terrible bet.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What is the over for the first set? And what is the tiebreak in the first set? Well, and actually,
over 9.5 is over 9.5. I like first set minus 135.
That seems amazing. So that's a play here for sure.
Like, I don't know how this one is minus 135, and then the Kokkinakis, was it the Kokkinakis Wawrinka that was minus 150?
Yeah, because Kokkinakis and Wawrinka are way worse. Like, they're actually worse returner. Well, no, maybe not even.
Maybe
I don't really know, to be honest.
I like that play too. You like Greek Sport money line at plus 200?
No, because like Huey finds a way to win these matches, man.
He just lost to JJ Wolf,
who's actually looked decent on clay the past few weeks. I mean, I know he lost Nishioka, but he had looked better. Like Greek Sport's 2 wins this year on clay are Emer and Travaglia. And that's the bad Emer, Eli Emer.
Good point.
But like I said, he's a pure over guy. Like,
so when you go over like that, the match is close.
Yeah, but Huey's so used to playing close matches, man. Like,
you're right. You're right.
Like Hubie's gone to a deciding set. Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. Like,
it's crazy.
So
yeah, it's insane.
What?
It's insane how many times he's gone like to a deciding set, even against
deciding set tiebreak. Like actually the specials here are interesting. Like, what are things like? Can you show the specials? I'm really curious about some of these because usually they'll have over 1.5 tiebreaks. Yep, that's plus 350.
Well, where's the, 2+ tie? Oh my god.
And then match to go to a fifth set tiebreak is plus 1,200.
I think that's the play. 2+ tiebreaks plus 350. That's the play.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go the over, and then I'm gonna split a unit on 2+ tiebreaks and final set tiebreak.
And what about?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the over 9.5.
You're going heavy on this match.
I mean, I want to have like 3 units total invested.
I don't like the match to go to final tie. I would need I would need 20 to 1 on that. That's so unlikely.
What is the first set tiebreak? First set over 12.5.
Plus 300. I prefer the over the over 1.5 tie breaks plus 350. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3 units invested in this match too, but I'm gonna do 1.5 units on the over 39.5, and I'm gonna go 1.5 units on the 2+ tie breaks. Like I actually think that 2+ tie breaks is actually like should happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I'm gonna play this. But yeah, I like those angles. Next match is Arnaldi and Shapovalov. Interesting match here. I already placed a bet here, and it's Arnaldi money line at -125.
Trying to see if I put a bet here down already. I looked at this match.
The erraticness and the lack of discipline for Chapo is just like it's just not good. Like Chapo even had to go 5 sets in the first round. I think he was up 2 sets to love too, right? Yeah, up two sets to Nishio, like Nakashima. Like he can't maintain discipline over a long period of time.
No, but that's why I'm debating. That's why I'm debating the over. But like, I don't love it.
Don't you think Arnaldi can just win in straight sets? If like Shapovalov is like
Oh yeah, for sure he can. Yeah, 100%. But also he could lose in straight sets if Shapo's firing. But Arnaldi will fire back. I don't know, man. Like, what is Chapo?
He's not that much of a favorite. It's pretty close to a pick 'em.
I'm actually tempted to take Chapo. Like,
Wow.
as a slight dog. Well, I mean, 105 is not much. Like, ooh, yeah.
You like these like over 19.5s, like
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
actually don't mind this. Arnaldi to lose the first set and win the match at +550.
yeah, I don't hate it.
Is like, what if Chapo comes out firing, wins the first set, but you can't trust him to maintain that?
No. Ronaldo's kind of the same way, though, to be honest. Like, he dips too.
Yeah, he dips too, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's just like this is such a.
I'm just gonna go Arnaldi money line.
What is 5 sets here? Is there a play for 5 sets?
Vlada's not offering that for some reason.
No, which is disappointing.
If you go to like another book,
Yeah,
which is like Bet MGM,
they should have it. Because to me, this screams 5 sets, doesn't it? Just with how erratic Chapo is, and Ronaldo's kind of the same way.
+210. It's not great.
I don't know, man. This might be one where I have to stay away. Like,
Stay away. Okay.
these guys are so erratic, man. Like,
I think Chapo is the less erratic of the two.
Chapo, the less erratic.
Yeah. No. Arnaldi's the less erratic of the two.
Oh yeah, for sure. But he's also less talented. This is say Ronaldo's not talented. It's more speaking about Chapo's talent level.
True.
This is a pure stay away to me. I don't see how you could bet this. Like, this is like, does Carlos Alcaraz decide to stay awake for the full match? Like, I get it. Like, there's no reason Daniel should have an easy time in any game, and he has to get to 7 games to cover this. Like, I get why you'd want to say like, or he has to get to 9 games to cover this. So, like, 8 or 9, 8, 9, 8. You get to 8 games to cover this. So, like, I see why you get excited, but like, I don't know, man. If there's anything we've learned, like, this is probably pretty close to where the match is going to end up.
Yeah. How about Alcaraz under 8.5 set or under 8.5 games in the first set at -120?
That's just pretty brutal though. 8.5 is tough to hit. I mean, let me look at something here.
Or well, -3.5 games at -110 for the first set.
Yeah, that's the better play.
Yeah.
Man. I'm looking at Alcaraz, right?
Mhm.
Carlitos Alcaraz.
Carlitos. Correct score after 2 games +110 for 2 love. I don't mind that.
I don't know, man. Alcaraz in his last. Oh, this is the wrong way to look at it, though.
Any set to nil +185.
Ew.
That's yeah,
Ew.
exactly. Ew.
So in first sets,
Hmm.
I'm looking at this here. Alcaraz has gone under 8.5. So Alcaraz has gone under 8.5 in his career in slams. So 19 career matches at slams. He's gone under 8.5 in the first set 8 times.
Okay.
Which tells you like, and this is versus guys outside the top 50, which tells me like,
Yeah.
it tells me it's really hard to 6-2 guys, man. Like it's hard to do. Like he'll do it at least once to Taro, but it's hard to do it like every set, you know?
Right. Right.
But there's no reason that Taro should win any games here, other than Alcaraz just making errors.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll win games, no doubt. Like Alcaraz will go through some sort of patch where he makes an error here and there, but like, I'm staying away. This is a pure stay away to me.
Yeah. I agree with that. I'm looking at his tennis abstract. Like there are a lot of 6-sport sets, like to Ramos, to Struve, to Coric, to Kachanov.
Well, yeah, again, it's hard to like, especially the way Alcaraz plays, because he does sometimes get a little bit like erratic. He does sometimes overhit. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that, it's hard to like run up. Like, it can't like you're not gonna always run the score up.
I'd actually like that more if it was a second set because like it's just like players have trouble matching that physicality. Like he did it against Kaboli, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's yeah. All right. Stay away there. Next match you got is Mutet and Rublev.
No thanks. I would just stay. I mean, like, actually, Rublev -8.5 is kind of appetizing here because Mutet might like.
But it's in France. So like that gives him kind of like half a game.
I think I'm still gonna stay away, but like, I think Rublev here -8.5 is kind of the interesting play, and you hope that what is Rublev in straights? But see, that's scary too. Mutet's talented enough; he could steal a set for no reason.
It's -205.
Mm-hmm.
Or plus
No,
one.
just play the over 3.5 sets at plus, or play the under 3.5 sets at -145. I don't know, man. It's a tough call. Like,
Yeah. I'm staying away here.
by the way, sorry to people on the feed watching. I had to get some water. It's been a long second set. There was a little changeover there.
You like do you think Mutet can get to 5 games in a set and do like over 19?
Well, you have to do it twice
Yeah, that's true.
once you push.
Mm.
I don't know. I would just lay
I'm
off all
staying
this.
away. Staying away, man. Kachanov and Albot. Wow. Only
I
one.
like actually catch on if you're laying 6.5, I think. Or what is straight sets? I think I prefer laying 6.5.
Yeah. Even money straight sets. Plus 105.
Yeah, like I don't know about you. Like, do you think does this look to you like they're
Is it a trap line?
No, I think it might be overvalued. So a couple things to keep in mind, right? Obviously he just went 5 sets with Lashen, which is really bad. Like if he plays at that level, Albot will cover this.
Mm-hmm.
The second part is like Kachanov was not happy with the court post match. I saw an interview where
Mm-hmm.
he was complaining about the court speed.
Okay. Why he thought it was too slow or too fast?
Too slow. It plays like mud. It plays. He was the wet. He was like the wet. Like I think it was. It was. I think it was Tennis Master who posted it to us. But like
Huh.
he was the guy who said like it's like playing on like next to the beach or something.
Oh.
He had some weird comment. Like,
But
but
right.
I never trust players. Like I don't trust the players' actual thoughts on the court speed. I just don't think it's a good omen for betting on them if they're complaining about it.
I hear what you're saying. It's just like they could play in mud, and I don't know if Albot could cover the spread. Like Albot is just like he has nothing to hurt Kachanov with. Like Kachanov is going to be bullying him around the court, no matter how slow it is.
Yeah.
I like the 6.5. Like that's not that much in this matchup. Like this seems like a heavyweight versus a lightweight kind of tennis match.
Yeah, and I mean, and Kachanov is capable of covering. Like,
He is.
yeah, I think so. I think I'd take Kachanov here and lay the 6.5. Tippett
Yeah.
will be proud. Tippett's hates Radu Albot. We actually have some similar bets. There's not as much debate here as I thought there'd be.
Yeah. Well, we kind of disagree on
We
Ugo.
both sides did a little bit this Senegal Umber.
Yeah. All right, next match is RBA and Varias. I think we're going to disagree here.
I'm trying to think about how this matchup plays because like both these guys have like pretty similar, not similar, but like pretty distinct game styles, right? Like RBA wants to dictate off the forehand, but like it's not a big forehand. He wants to dictate with like placement off the forehand
Right.
and taking the ball early. Whereas like Varias wants to take that big swing, that big cut at forehands, and like jerk RBA around the court and like move him off the, but like kind of like more jerking around with that with like a heavy forehand. Whereas
Yeah.
like RBA is a little bit more of like a, I don't know, it's more of like the David Ferrer forehand where he'd like move you side to side.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you
Varias is
got?
a dog, right? It's a pretty significant dog here.
Yeah, plus 200.
I mean, I'm tempted to take a Varias money line man here. Like, is there a reason why we would love RBA here?
Mm. Let me see the. You lost to Cecchinato easily in Rome. Lost to Kachanov. Beat Hollis in 3 sets. Lost to Alcaraz. I mean, I don't like what I'm seeing from Varias either. Like, I don't like what I'm seeing from RBA, but I don't like what I'm seeing from Varias either. That's the point.
I mean, like, these losses aren't that bad from Varias.
Yeah, he's playing good players.
Yeah, and like, so I think that, and like, I think maybe that's causing it. Like, if I'm gonna try to read the market, I'm gonna read the market and say that like that would cause you to undervalue Varias, right? Whereas, like, I don't see any such thing with
Interesting.
RBA. I feel like RBA is playing like the competition you'd expect him to play and is doing like okay.
Although this loss to Cecchinato is really bad. Like losing to
Yeah.
Cecchinato, no shame, but losing 2-2 is bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
agree.
and then like Tidbits pointed out that matchup against Yibing Wu was just like a really bad matchup for him. So he's not looking too much into that.
Did Tidbits like
He liked Varias. He placed the money line bet on Varias here.
I'm gonna back him. I'll tail
Gonna
that.
back him there.
Yeah.
What's plus 1.5 sets? Do I still get plus money on that? Plus 110.
Farias did just come back and beat Shang from 2 sets down.
Okay. Why you think so? Like physically, he might be like a little tired.
Could be.
Yeah. It's either a stay away or just like put half a unit on like Varias money line.
I'm going half the on the Farias money line.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. We'll have fun with watching that match. Next match is Musetti and Shevchenko. Oh, I
See,
like.
I'm gonna guess that this line would come in at Musetti -6. That's exactly where it came at, which tells me this is a pure like this is a well set line and not a much one to bet. Plus, like I could see Shevchenko taking a set, but I could also see him not taking a set. Like, and I think it's gonna be right around even money for Shevchenko to take a set, probably -110 for Shevchenko to get a set.
Pretty good.
-170. Wow.
Yeah.
I might go Musetti in straights at +130.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't trust him mentally enough. I might go over 36.
So basically Shevchenko to win a set.
Pretty much.
Uh,
You know what? I'm hitting that. I'm going over. I don't trust Musetti's like physicality and like mentally that much. Like I just I don't know. And I feel like Shevchenko got his first slam win under his belt, and it's just like he's had good results this year.
yeah, I mean,
Like
yeah.
I think Musetti has a chance against Alcaraz if they play, but I think like getting there is actually not like a given. Like Oscar O well no, that's against Shevchenko, but like I mean Ymer is not a good because he just goes away.
I mean, if you go back, like, yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't know, it's tough.
Like Musetti, who did he play last year at the French? Oh, Tsitsipas. That's right. So
But the year before that, he straight setted Goffin and Nishioka.
yeah, I think he was playing better clay court tennis at that point. Well, maybe not. I mean, that was the year he took Djokovic to 5.
Yeah, like
And I
what is the line again from Zay to win a set or to win in straights? +130, +125,
Musetti to win
+130, right?
straights.
Yeah,
Plus 130.
I think it's the only line I could see playing here, and I might just stay away. It's like a tough call.
Okay. All right. I'm going over 36 here. I do think Shevchenko wins a set here.
Okay. I see the perspective. I think it's close.
Also, Musetti doesn't have that big of a game, right? So he's gonna have to like earn it. And if he's misfiring in any set, like I don't know, it's
Yeah.
see ways that he could lose a set there. Van Ash and Davidovich Fokina.
To me, what is the over 3.5 sets here? It's probably not going to be good.
They not have it.
Yeah, but see, that's crappy though because they have like, well, so Fokia. I mean, for Van Ashes to win a set is minus 225. That's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This might be a stay away because the line I think is pretty well set here. I think it should be somewhere around Fokina -6 and it's Fokina -5.5. Like I like Van Ash to win a set, but I don't like those odds and the price that went up there.
You like over 36.5?
No, because like I mean, this match ended up playing out a lot like the Fees match did, right? Where like Van Ash could give away a set.
Right.
And like Fees,
Right. There could be a 6-1 or 6-2 set.
like there could be 1-6-2 set, and then you need oh man, it's
How
close.
about
I think your
Fokina?
is pretty well
How
set.
about Fokina 3-1 then at plus 290?
290 is not enough, man. Not for a bet that's that specific. But if you want, I wouldn't hate it if you wanted to play that. I think that's like the one decent play here on the board. I think I'm just gonna stay away from this match, which sucks. I love playing. Actually, what is Fokina over 19.5 or over 18.5? That's the question.
Over 19.5 is minus 105. Over 20 is plus 110.
Over 19.5 seems great, doesn't it?
It does. Especially if you think that
Yeah.
Van Ash wins a set, because like if he wins a set, it's probably going to be like 6-4, 7-5.
Well, yeah, and then A, that, and B,
Yeah,
even if not, Fokina could choke away 2 sets and get to 2 tie breaks.
that's true. I think that's the play.
Yeah, that is the play.
Yeah, that's the play. All right, next match is Luca Pui and Cameron Norrie.
What's Pui to win a set?
I like that too. Total sets over 3.5 is minus 155. Plus 2.5 sets is minus 170. Ugh.
Yeah, I think this is a.
How about plus 1.5 sets?
He has to go 5. He's get 2 sets.
Or win outright, plus 150.
Win outright. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it might be a decent bet. What's the game spread here? Again?
6.
I don't know. Let me take some kind of. I'm tempted to take something on Pui here
I think the home crowd will play a factor here too.
against Nori. Though Nori's usually pretty mentally tough with that stuff. Like it should lift Pui, but I don't know if it's going to hurt Nori. And can it lift Pui enough to get him to 2 sets?
Fair. Over 36. If you think Pui wins a set.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I think that's not really as bad.
Or the Nori overs. I don't like.
I think I'm gonna play the straight games over of 36.
Yeah.
Like if Pui takes a set, he gets here.
He does.
And Nori's had a hell of a time against pair.
He did. Which I think Pui is better than pair.
I would tend to agree.
I'm very pro Pui here. It's just like I'm trying to think what the best Pui line hit is. And I don't think he wins outright. But like I want to take something like for him to win a set or something like that. Because I do think he does win. Like Nori really has not been good. So okay. I tend to agree with you.
The plus 1.5 sets looks actually kind of appetizing.
Plus 150.
Yeah. That's the play.
Plus 1.5 sets.
Yeah.
You're going the more aggressive way.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going the over in the games. But yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna split my unit. I'm gonna do both.
Both? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna split unit. All right.
All right, and then last match for tomorrow is Djokovic against Fucsovics.
Yeah. No, I'm staying away from this also. Like, I just don't know how else to play this because, like, actually, what is Djokovic over 18.5?
Minus 150.
No, thanks.
This is similar to me with the RCB Tsitsipas. Like this is the perfect matchup for Djokovic.
It is. That's the problem.
The absolute perfect matchup.
It's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
This guy that doesn't have that many weapons, gonna make him hit balls, like not gonna do anything like
Yep.
crazy, but like
Yep.
it's just like Vucevic is like kind of athletic, so he's just gonna like, it's actually gonna like give Djokovic rhythm and then like enhance his game.
Yeah.
You know? Um I like Djokovic to love at plus 160 actually.
Yeah, I'm staying away from this entirely.
I'm hitting that. Djokovic to love plus 160. Straight sets is minus 230. It's like it's horrible.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hitting here.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe Djokovic. Yeah.
Minus you know what? Under 29.5? That's appetizing.
You would have missed it against Kovacevic. That was 30.
I actually prefer the Fucsovics matchup against Djokovic than the Kovacevic.
I'm just saying, like, it to get to 25, he basically has to. That's basically you're somewhere near the 9 games.
Yeah. Djokovic to win in under 28.5 is even money. Yeah, you know what? That's all I'm gonna hit. The 2-0 at plus 165.
All right.
Yeah, to start the matchup 2-0. All right, and then going into Thursday, you got Zverev and Molchan.
I love this match from an aesthetic perspective. It's just like a fun style matchup. This is one where I'd love to see a head to head.
Yeah, that's a good point. They've never played. I actually think this is a good matchup for Zverev because like Molchan's like
I think so
heavy
too. That's the
forehand
problem.
into that backhand is going to be trouble.
But I also don't think this is a match that you'd really like want to bet him on. Him being Zverev.
I don't like being pro Zverev ever.
Yeah, I'm staying away.
And then it's like 35. That's the problem is Molchan doesn't have a big game. Like he's gonna have to grind his way through wins. And like if you're having trouble with like Hugo Gaston,
I
what makes
agree.
me what
I
makes me
agree.
think that you're gonna like have success against Zverev?
I agree. But on the same hand, like, same side, like I don't know if I can take Zverev minus 6.5 against
No,
somebody who's like
against
consistent, enough like Molchan and like kind of decent
right.
player.
Exactly. I think Molchan of last year, I would be all over that. But
Oh
like
yeah, for sure, but not this year's
not
Molchan.
this year. No, I agree. I'm gonna stay away there too. Rinderknecht and Fritz. Fritz is a 7-game favorite.
Stay away. Unless you want to play the 3-0 Fritz and play him not to lose a set, but like I don't know, man. Like I'm not excited about him beating up on Mo. Fritz has
Yeah,
a
Mo was
surprisingly
just there
hard
for
time in
him.
slams with guys who are ranked well below him. Rinderknecht also sucks. So
He does.
like, or he not sucks. He just hasn't played well the past 6 months. But like, so I just like offset all those, and I can't see why I would play this.
Plus 2.5 sets at minus 105 to win a set.
But what makes Art? How does Rinderknecht win a set? It's just pure variance and Fritz making errors
And French crowd.
and French crowd. I mean, if you're gonna play this, it's Rinderknecht with the crowd, but I'm gonna stay away.
Okay. We have a day to think about it, but yeah, for now I'll stay away. Karatsev and Tiafo. A match that I'm probably more excited for than you are.
Yeah, I'm not surprised it's a pure pick 'em. I think I'm going Tiafoe money line here.
So I faded Karatsev all through qualifying, and then I also faded him against Popperin. Is it time to change and start backing him? I don't
You know
know.
what? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like,
How about over 38.5? No, but then Tiafo does play some quick matches. Like he got destroyed by Kachin out of nowhere in Madrid.
yeah, I mean, but this should have like, what is the over 9.5 for the first set?
Minus
That
one
I like. That's my play.
minus 125.
Yeah, like neither of these guys should be breaking their serve that often.
You're right. I'm gonna wait to see the schedule on that because if it's a later start, I might stay away there. If it's like heat of the day, then it might be better play.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I might see where when the match is, but yeah. I'm leaning actually the Karatsev direction.
Interesting. I mean, he's been a better player lately. It's just a matter of who, like, better tennis player versus guy in better form.
What's over 3.5 sets? It's not up.
Too big for you.
And then yeah, it's a pick 'em. So minus 200 on the plus 1.5. I might do the 5-set line if there is one
Okay.
on another app.
Okay.
Maybe not the over because it's like there could be a
Yeah, I get it.
lopsided set. I don't know. I need to think about that a little more.
Fortune
Coric and
machine.
yeah.
Man, this is exactly why I put this spread. I'm gonna stay away. I think it's actually a really well set line. Of course, you have to go over 19.5, right? You have to lay some sort of juice.
Minus 125.
I don't hate that. I would actually tempted to play that.
Yeah,
Like, there's a couple things I want to look up though first.
me too.
Um, Quaritch. They've never played.
Mm-hmm.
And now the next thing to see is man. The problem is Kachin really struggles against good competition.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. He's just like a little underpowered, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I think courts really dictate to him. I'm staying away. It's courts. It's 5, right? That's the spread.
I think it's 6.
If it's anywhere between
Oh,
4 and
5.
6,
5, you're right.
5. I'm
Mhm.
staying away. Like I think this is actually really well because like I can see Kachin setting a set, but stealing a set, but so can the markets. So not a fan of it.
I'm
Not
leaning
good
the
for it.
over 19.5, but like I'm looking at Koric's like slam results.
It's tough because Porch is like good a couple weeks a year. Like I get it. This is more for me about like Porch is a decent player. Like his talent level is decent,
He does
and
have
like
that random good run.
yeah, and Kachin is I don't know. Kachin's not the guy who's gonna stop that. You know what I mean? Like he's more kind of collecting errors. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna play the over 19.5 for Coric at minus 125.
Okay.
Because I don't see this being straight sets. But I do see Coric winning. So
Yeah.
next match, Rusev Ori and Dimitrov. Very interesting match here.
Very interesting match. I kind of like Emil here.
Plus 185.
Um,
I like that. The reason why I do like that, I'm not saying I'm gonna hit it, but I do like it because Dimitrov does struggle winning back-to-back matches.
he also just plays some really dumb matches, right? Like
He won a couple matches in a row in Geneva, but prior to that, I don't think he's won back-to-back matches all year.
who, Dimitrov?
Yeah. What's Rusev
Respect
Ori?
anybody? Yeah, yeah. I mean, Rotterdam was the last time, so yeah, not on play.
Right. What about Rusev Ori plus 1.5 sets at minus 105? Do you like that more than the money line?
Not really. I mean, I don't know, man. Not
No.
really. I want to take something on Emil here. I just got to decide how I want to do it. I have a little time to think about it.
Okay. The over seems like a decent play here as well. Over 37.5. Like this is not straight sets either way.
Unless I mean, Roos 4 is yeah, it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be.
Rusev Ori had he has some dips, like
Yeah.
he does get erratic and because he has kind of a flatter ball.
No, he does. He does. I agree.
So
Should my concern.
all right. And then Cerundolo and Hoffman. Another very, very interesting match.
What is yeah, see, no thanks. I'll be much more interested once their dad retires and once Yannick is like no longer I don't know, not their dad. Once I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't like I don't know.
Dad?
I guess yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe you know what? I might take Hoffman with the games here.
Plus 4.
Yeah, like that's 2 breaks and like Sundalo just dumped a set to Munar. Actually, you know what? Instead, I'll take the over. I'll take the over 36.5. I think that's better.
I'm leaning there. Do you think Hoffman is going to be fine physically? After a 5-hour match today against Montero.
And the second heel, yeah.
He also played later in the day, so there's slightly less recovery time. So I kind of want to see when this match is being played. If it's like early in the day, there's no way I'm backing Hoffman in any capacity.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But yeah, the over looks like a good look. I'm actually going thinking the other way, backing Cerundolo minus the 4.
I get it because like there could be a runaway set here,
There could be.
especially if Hoffman gasses out. You know what? I'm gonna stay away after the last thinking about it because like the problem is like I actually could see scenarios in which Hoffman wins, but like I don't trust his physicality level. I think Cerundolo should win, but like he might not. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just a tough match to call.
It's really close on paper. Like if Hoffman didn't play 5 hours,
Four
I'd
would be
be
ridiculous. I didn't price that in. That's why I was thinking like 2 to 3.
right.
Once you price that in a couple games, it takes it right back down to that being the right line.
So if both guys are on even rest, where do you think this is priced?
I think it would be priced at like 3. I think it should be priced close to even to even. Like Hoffman had been really good, man. Like it's like
He
we'll see if you can
has.
forget that he's Yannick Hoffman, like he's been as good as Cerundolo has this year.
So it's really that match is really about how much you weigh the physicality portion.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So I'm gonna wait on that match and I want to see when it's being played because
That's a
I
good
think those
call.
couple hours like actually matter there.
That's a good call.
Oliveri and Vavasori. You know what? I'm actually thinking about backing Oliveri here just because they both played 5 sets.
Yeah. And Vavasori is a better player.
Yeah.
I think this money line is close to decent. I think it's a little bit too far, but I think it's close enough to decent that I'm going to trust these guys and not play this match.
What about the over?
No. Like 37.5 could end up in 4 sets and you lose, right? And you miss. And it's 4 like somewhat quick sets. So no thanks.
But Vavasori doesn't have that great of a return game, right? And then Oliveri.
What does Oliveri do well? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know enough about Oliveri. Like
But he
this line at first
played.
glance looks like reasonable-ish. Like if you want to pick and say that it's probably a little bit, but like but Oliveri just went 5 sets, right? So that answers the question as to why it's a little bit pro Oliveri. Or yeah, why so there's a little more opportunity on Oliveri. Like
Yeah. I gotta watch some Oliveri tape. But yeah. All right. I'll wait on that as well. Couple more matches. Pela and Seaboth Wild. You think Wild can back it up? Well, do you think Pela can back it up? That's another question.
um
This is really
I'm
tough.
tempted to go Pela. Like I think the books are overvaluing Wild here.
You might be right. Because he had such a big win. Like, I think for a guy like that who's not that experienced, like it's hard to back up a win like that and come back with another win. Like there's
Yeah.
definitely a letdown. I'm on Pela here. Plus 240 seems like a good price. Are you gonna back me there?
I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like Pela, this is a tough one, man. Like I'm looking like Pela. Who had Pela beaten?
Not much. I mean, he still has that protected ranking, so he doesn't get into many events.
Yeah. He's got wins over Vavasori, Montero. That's actually not terrible. Like, he keeps playing tough competition.
And he beat what, Halis today?
Yeah. Like,
I'm more going based on the angle that it's going to be hard for Wild
the
to
narrative. Yeah, I
back
get
up a
it.
win
I
like
get
that.
it. Like,
He's not that
for me,
experienced.
it's more based on like I don't think that Wield is +2, -300 better than Pela. I think this is just like I think this is an overreaction to Wild beating Medvedev.
I do too.
See, I'm gonna ride the Pela train here.
Okay.
Probably gonna ride it to a bad place, but I'll ride this.
Um, Holger Rune and Monfils. My play here, -7.5.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think there's any questions here.
Yeah, I'm on that with you with that. That's not even hard for me.
It's just,
Monfils could just gas out and be truly done. I think that's what's going to happen.
I
I
agree.
think I think especially I think it's a bad sign when players react that way to winning a first round match.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually
Like,
gonna go. I'm actually gonna go -8 and take the plus money at +120.
I'm gonna go a little more conservative because I don't know, like Monfils could show up for a set, and if Monfils I don't know, shows up somehow, takes a set, then it's not the Holger can't cover from that position, but it makes it a little harder. I'll just take the 7.5.
How about -2.5 in the first set at +120?
No, because if Monfils has any gas in the tank, he'll have it in the first set. And that's the
I
wrong
don't
way to play.
necessarily go by that. We talked about this with another match. I look at it. Sometimes they're so like they're sore and stuff, and they come out sluggish, and they're waiting for that second wind to kick in.
I don't know. It's not like they can't warm up if they need to for the match. Like they can't go practice on another court. Like,
All right, but we're on the same page. We're something pro Rune, right?
yeah, something pro.
All right, good. Sinner Altmaier.
No, don't bet this.
You don't like the -8 here? Like, what does Altmaier do that like this is a perfect match for Sinner?
Fine, but it's just eight's hard to cover, man. Like,
But Altmaier is like in the same class as the Alexander Muller. Like
no, Omar's better than Muller on clay. Omar's better than Muller on clay.
Okay, slightly. Didn't they play in the Australian? No, that was Tiafo that played Altmaier.
Yeah.
So what would the spread need to be for you to back Sinner? 7.5? You would hit it?
Probably like 6.5, 7. It's probably not that far off. I'm just really turned off to these big spreads in general because, like, it really does depend on, like, how much of a need Sinner has to win set 6-2 as opposed to 6-3 or 6-4.
You like Sinner in straight sets at -155? Altmaier did take 2 sets against him at the US Open last year. So that's
And he still wouldn't have covered 8.
all right.
Like,
Yeah, that's kind of my I mean it's just going to be really hard for Sinner for Altmaier to win games here due to the gap in ball striking.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think eight's the right line. You feel like juice at eight, right? Like that's the right line. Like I'm looking at previous center scores. There's a lot of scores that center has where he wins by somewhere between like 7 and 10. So I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah, Sinner is actually a guy I like laying games against because he's just such a good ball striker, and it's like,
Yeah, I get it. Like I get the appeal. I just think that like this is the right line. It's
yeah,
more this is speaking to how hard it is to beat a guy like 2-2-2.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard. All right, and then couple more here. Marcos Giron and Yuri Lehechka. Ooh, get your popcorn ready for this match.
Yeah, I think like should be a slight favorite here, which he's a big favorite. Um, this is tight, but I think I'd go your own.
With the games or the money
No,
line.
just money line. Like this is more like, do we think Lehechka's really that good on clay? Like, we'll take a look at his results and tell me that Lehechka's really, really a great clay court player.
Who did he beat in the first round? Oh, Struth.
Struth in 5, which is not bad. Like, this is a good win. But still.
That's a good win. It's a guy who's pretty erratic versus a guy who's mentally weak, which to me actually screams stay away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. It's probably a stay away, but like it's tempting to go your own, so I just don't think like there's that much of
It
it.
is.
Yeah,
It's
like
good. It's good plus money.
it's good plus money. You know, I'm gonna do it. Like, okay, in the past month, you're like, let's just lost to Shevchenko, Marasan, and some guy named Alexander Brennan. Like, if those guys can beat him, your own can't.
But you see, like Yaron against Medjedovic, like that's clearly ATP versus Challenger. Whereas with Lechka, like you can't say he's not an ATP level player, right?
No, but I can say he's performing poorly right now.
You're not wrong. I'm gonna wait and see, and I'm gonna see if that price moves up because if it goes to like plus 180 or plus 190, I'm gonna hit it.
Okay.
I want slightly better though, just because of how mentally weak he is.
Okay.
But I see where you're going. Tarante and Zhang.
I have Tronte money line. I think this is an amazing matchup for Tronte. Tronte's gonna run a bunch of balls down and just watch Demonor miss. Or not Demonor, watch Zhang miss. I
Kind of
love
similar.
Tronte
He's
here.
kind of similar to what he did against VDZ, right?
Yeah. But it'll work better. Zhang is a great matchup for Tronte, man.
You know what? I agree with you. I'm gonna tell you there. Echeverry and Demonor.
I have Etch money line here.
Me too. I like it.
He's just better on play than Demonor. Demonor could win this match by like 3-3-3. It's a 100% possibility, but like, but I think Etch is just better on play.
Etch minus 1.5 sets at plus 175. I like that.
That's interesting.
I think I'm gonna hit that.
I like that too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do a unit each on both. I like that. Paul and Yari.
You. Man, this is a tough one to call, Paul versus Yari. I don't like this matchup at all for Yari. I don't know about you.
I would have liked it at altitude.
Yeah.
At sea level on a court. Like these courts are playing pretty slow, right? Even like in warm weather.
Supposedly.
Right. And it's supposed to be sunny all week, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, pretty sunny all week. Man. I'm tempted to go with like a 5-set line here.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, I won't tell you on, but I don't hate it.
Like 39.5. It's a high total. I'd rather almost just go 5 sets and get like plus 200 or better.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what way you can get for it. If you can get like 250 or 300 or better for 5 sets, it might be decent.
Yeah. Oh, Zeppieri and Casper Ruud.
Oh, I forgot about Zeppier and Casper Ruud.
Yeah.
I got much in this match. I'm not playing it. Zeppier is decent enough to cover 8, but he's also erratic enough to not cover 8. Which sounds like a really lame cop out, and it is, but it's
And
the
then
truth.
Ruud, sometimes he comes out and makes a ton of errors, and then sometimes he plays amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very difficult. I mean, I wouldn't put him in the
I wouldn't play this
category, but like it's hard to get a read on it.
Yeah, this to me is a pure stay away.
It is. It is. Like I didn't play Root against Elias Ymer today. Like I
Yeah,
didn't know how to, I didn't know
I didn't
what
play
to
either. I
go
don't know what to do there.
and then last match is Nishioka and Purcell.
I got Yoshi laying the games. I don't know, man. Like it's just like Purcell's just not good enough. He doesn't have a complete enough game to like. I think like. Yeah, I'm Paul. I'm Yoshi here minus the games. I think, and I think laying the games here is way better than the sets. Like the way I see this is actually, I think Purcell could steal a set, but if he steals it, it's going to have to be like a set with minimal breaks. Because I feel like Purcell's one of the few players who can't break Yoshi's serve consistently.
Yeah,
He says, you know what I mean? Like he's not a clay guy.
no, he's not. And he made most of his challengers that he's had success in has been on hard court.
Yeah, and faster hard course. I'm assuming,
How
right?
is how is like I haven't seen too much of Purcell. How is his backhand?
Oh, I don't think it's very good at all. I'm guessing. I haven't seen too much.
Do you think those Yoshi kind of loopy balls are gonna give Purcell trouble?
I don't know if it's the loopy ball specifically. I just think like I don't know
Like
how
if Yoshi's able to pin Purcell to the backhand corner.
like I don't know how used to having a rally Purcell is. You know what I mean? Like I just see Purcell running out of gas in like the 4th set.
All right, I gotta think about that. But yeah, it's probably something pro Yoshi. I see some lopsided sets. I don't like 37. Way too
That's
high.
why I like laying the games. If you think there's gonna be a lopsided set, lay the games.
Yeah. Like all
I
of
think that's it, right?
Yoshi's
That was our
matches
last.
have lopsided sets. Like today against Wolf.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So
All right.
that does it for a round 2 preview. Any you want to do a quick parlay? Like what do we like tomorrow the most?
I'm going back through my bets for tomorrow.
uh
Did you end up telling me on the Greek Sport Hurkacz? What did you end up doing on Greek Sport versus Hubie?
over.
Over 39.5?
Yes.
You want to put that in?
Yeah, let's put that in.
Anything pro Kachanov? What do you have there?
It's a Hubie Greek Sport over. Oh, Kachanov laying the games
That's fine.
against Albot.
That's fine.
Were you on Arnaldi money line or no?
No.
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 Uh,
How about Toronto? Is that tomorrow or is that Wednesday?
That is Wednesday.
Oh, shit.
No, that's Thursday.
Thursday, that's what I meant, yeah. Did we like Fonini minus a set and a half versus the Kubler?
Yeah, let's put that in.
All right.
I can't believe we're putting Fonini.
Did we like Baena RCB to go straight sets versus Tsitsipas? Or is it supposed to beat RCB in straight sets?
It's not the one I have the most confidence in.
Okay.
because I just don't like. I don't like. I like the matchup, but I don't like what I'm seeing from Tsitsipas.
Fine.
I
Nuno
like
versus Diego Schwartzman. Is that smart? Is that
that
tomorrow?
is tomorrow. Ooh.
And then I think that's it.
You don't like Umber money line, right?
No,
Much as I do.
I think that's it. Oh, Varias, but I don't know if you want to put Varias money line in a parlay. Usually don't like to put long line stuff in parlays.
uh, what did we have in Van Ash and Fokina? Oh,
Fokina over 19.5. We can put that in if you
I
want.
like that. I
I
like
throw
that.
that in. That's fine.
Okay,
And then we're good.
then we're good.
It's like
So
5 or 6 legs. That's
three,
fine.
so that's and then Fokina over 19.5 versus Van
Yeah.
Ash. And then what was the last leg again?
The Fokina.
Oh no, the leg before that.
Scroll back through again the matches. You're so zoomed in now, I can't see anything. I can scroll through my phone too. Um, I think that was it. We had a Kachanov leg,
Oh,
right?
Borges money line.
What? You can throw that in
Borges.
if you want. Sure, go for it. And then that's good.
That's it. Yeah, Borges minus line. So Hubie Greeksport over, Kachanov minus 6.5, Fonini minus 1.5 sets, Fokina over 19.5, and Borges money line.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's our parlay. Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
Awesome, guys.
All right, so that's our Roland Garros Mega Pod. We'll probably be back on the weekend, perhaps with a guest on. We'll
Man, you blew the cover, man. I was gonna
What?
call it a special surprise.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. The army is now grown to 358 followers. So thanks
Yes.
to you follows now.
Amazing.
Hopefully you enjoy the chatter and the random Twitter chatter as well as the pods. But yeah, we really appreciate it. Really, really interesting. Lot more chatter than we'd had in the past. So really, really awesome
Well, the
chatter.
growth in followers in the last like couple weeks has been incredible. Like we've gone from like 200 to 358 in like
I know, which is
in a
insane.
week.
And you know, we obviously really appreciate that. We hope that we hope that we're interesting, that we we're and then like if again a lot of really good chatter, really chat with like Tennis Master, a couple guy that I really respect who brings up a lot of really good points.
Mhm.
We should have like a follower of the week.
Okay, let's do that. We could.
Yeah,
do
today we apologize, guys. Today was a little bit of a meat and potatoes episode too. We're gonna try to start doing. Man, now we're talking about. We're gonna try to start doing some more fun, like different kind of things to spice it up a little bit. What's the dinner bet we have? We do have a dinner bet on something though, right?
Fees in the top 10.
That's right. Yes, we have a dinner bet on that. So we're gonna start trying to do more stuff on that and track that and see like.
Yeah, we'll do like mock drafts. Like we'll pick our kind of.
We're gonna do like the stat
teams
draft.
and
We're gonna try to pick like most aces for a tournament or something. See how
Yeah.
that goes.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do some like more fun segments, kind of like unconventional stuff, just between the two of us, like taking the betting, putting that to the side a little bit.
But it's tough, honestly, guys. It's tough when it gets a little bit betting focused when there's so many matches out there. It's just tough to.
Yeah. I mean, once next week's hit, we'll focus more on props and like kind of dive deeper into the guys, right? So
yeah,
it's gonna be good. So that being said, have a great night, everyone, and thanks for listening and all the conversation on Twitter. Take care.
Guys. Thanks if you're again if you have any if you like it, throw us a like, throw us retweets. Like help to expand the pod. If you don't like it, feel free to drop a comment. Tell us what we can do better. So
Definitely.
Yeah. So and then so some more spicy stuff coming up for this weekend. So we'll let you know how I'm at.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Bye, guys.